What's going on, guys? You know it's my favorite time of the week. We're back here for another Access Vegas. We have broken all the FCC rules.
Yes.
We're going to get canceled. We have too many people in this fucking room right now.
We're breaking fire codes.
We already have the fire marshal that's here. We've locked the front door. Get ready. So here we go. I'm going to try to introduce everybody as much as I can here. Are you owner of Sleep Magazine?
I'm not the owner. I am the creative director. Sorry, I'm not the owner. I'm the creative director
of Sleep Magazine.
Yes.
Okay, she's a huge model herself, Miss Samantha Baker.
Yes.
Okay, she is a Twitch streamer, and she was also on The One That Got Away. It's Casey Ma. How you doing, Casey?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. Rose, who's over here. Rose escaped a cult, and she also competed in the biggest bikini competition in the world last year. You excited, Rose?
Yeah, I am super excited.
Rosie, my bad, Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie.
I got it wrong. Get it. She's got a huge YouTube channel where she features all kinds of crazy stuff here in Las Vegas. You can check her out. It is Norma Jelly.
Yes, what's up, y'all?
Norma, awesome, good. We also have Shava. She's here. Shava is a huge OnlyFans creator, along with a friend, Courtney. Is it Tilia? Courtney Tilia, and then my BFF CJ Sparks here, who's had her 4 years
She's
sober
ready to
anniversary.
go on her wave runner.
4 years sober anniversary. And ladies, if you don't know who CJ Sparks is, your boyfriend subscribes, so don't worry about it.
Definitely. And at the end of the table, we have our very special guest. I have X-Ray Girl, and I have Tugs from Poor Choices and Nerdrotic, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Friday Night Tights. And we would have had Chrissy Mayer here, but she's doing her stand-up comedian thing, her gig here.
Right now.
Yeah, right very now.
That's
exactly.
okay, Matt's for.
Yes. And last but not least, I have my best friend over here, Trey Little, all the way from Detroit. Go check him out. Actually, you can go find the all of the girls' Instagrams. Link is in the description of this video.
For sure, mine too. So you can check us out on either stream. If you guys want to live stream, or I'm sorry, if you want to super chat, make sure we'll read the super chats. We got a really good one coming on. A couple things I want to get over really quick. We had a debate yesterday.
Oh boy,
with a numerologist and astrologer. Okay, so
we won. These guys.
I watched
So
that.
it was about 2 hours and 30 minutes, and we went back and forth. And here's the thing: what I'm going to say is there's no evidence for astrology. There's been numerous studies that show within a certain astrological sign and between astrological signs there is no correlation. Meaning Libras are not more outgoing, Geminis do not suffer from mental illness more, Virgos are not worse leaders, and also when it comes to numerology, people who have the born on the 7th day are not more intelligent. People who are born on the 28th are not wealthier. None of these things. There's no actual correlation for these, and that was the thing. I didn't say it was true or not true. What I said was that there is no evidence for it, and there's nothing but infinite evidence against it. That's how the scientific method works. And what happened after that was exactly what happened after I argued with the flat earthers. They attacked me relentlessly for the last 48 hours. They're still attacking me. They're still attacking me. They're still attacking me. They're still coming after me over and over again. So I just want to say,
no trolls like numerology.
Yeah, and the numerology,
yeah.
and that's one of the things. That's one of the things that you'll find. And one of the interesting things is that, look, when you ever see those doomsday cults, you remember those doomsday cults where like the world was supposed to end July 21st, 2012 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Heaven's
When
Gate.
when they don't, but guys, make sure you get to know the microphone whenever you say anything. Whenever we have those doomsday cults, whenever the cult turns out to be wrong, they don't apologize. They actually double down or triple down on their beliefs, and you'll find that the more radical the belief, like for instance, this is really funny. When I had the flat earthers on here, and then they didn't do very well afterwards.
Yeah, the flat earth thing has got me.
Yeah, I had a bunch of flat earthers hit me up and be like, "Oh, Flat Earth Dave's a scam, but I'm a real flat earther. You should have me on instead." Yes. When I had Vegas Dave on, Vegas Dave is a sports bettor. The day after I had a bunch of people saying, "I can't believe you had Vegas Dave on. Vegas Dave's a scam, but I'm a real sports bettor." And the same thing, it's called the No True Scotsman defense, and that's the same thing that happened yesterday with Gary. Gary apparently is the only real numerologist. All other numerologists are fake, and that's the reason why numerology has been disproven by so many people.
But we are the only real podcast in Las Vegas, too.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, I just wanted to address that because these guys are just still coming after me. Thank you guys so much for I've never been mentioned so much on Twitter in my entire life.
Well, you're a 30 and I'm a 30, but you know what? When they
we're 3 life paths.
Well, if you take 304 and you add all that up, it's 7. Isn't that the number of luck or money?
It is luck
there
or money,
you go.
or upside down.
All right, go with that.
Publicity is good publicity.
Before you were 3, though, Michael. Before you were 3, you were a 5.
What do you mean?
He told you were a 5, and then later he said you were a 3.
Someone
he said I was. He said I was
doing
born
your
on the 5th.
homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like they just sort of make it up.
You're
as they
good
go
with the
along.
ladies first, but now you're good with luck and money or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was. It was a great. You watched the whole thing?
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
there's,
Oh my God, it was
there's so much
entertaining.
work that goes into like the formula to
Yeah.
back it up. It's like there's just too much work that goes into like
But-
trying to figure out how to make the
But
formula.
here's the thing: if they can't make it work,
accurate.
one of the things they do is they start subtracting numbers instead of adding them to get it to land what it
Yes,
needs.
there's so much effort to try to.
Here's the thing: the reason, the main transition I wanted is that you were in a cult. You were actually in a cult, Rosie. And can you talk about like some of the cognitive biases that you experienced and what your experience was like being in a cult and then getting out of it?
So one thing about
You can pull it to your. You can pull the microphone to you. Yeah.
One thing that's crazy is, and even some of my family who are still in it, they don't want help. They don't want someone to come in and interfere. Like the way that they are living or the way that they are told is right. And even if you tell them, look, you're not in control of your life at all. Like you are being told what to do, how to live, what to eat. I mean, these men were told they couldn't have any more intimate relations with their wives, like all that crap. And people went for it. They still are. There are people still doing that. Some people who haven't, like, they stopped making babies. People are told stop making babies. 2011.
Can you describe real quick the cult? They did a documentary on the cult. What was it called?
Yeah, Keep Sweet, Pray, and Obey on Netflix. Another good one is on Peacock. It's called Preaching Evil, and that one kind of goes a little more into like behind the scenes. So when I watched that one, there was information in that one I didn't have any idea about till I watched that.
And is there one main guy who was getting to have sex with everyone? Was that kind of the main? It was
Like
the way it was
David
working?
Koresh kind of thing.
Can I ask
So-
where you lived? Like what location is?
So it's Colorado City and Hilldale, Utah.
Okay, because I know that like
the border goes right through the community.
I drove through like Utah, and I know that there's like cults there too. So I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Like,
And then they moved like a big group to Texas in like 2006 or 7, I believe. And then 2008, the state came in, took all the kids away. There was like a big raid.
How did you get out of it if everyone's kind of so like bought into the system? Like what made you get out and see that there was something different?
So I had some family who had gotten out. I had some cousins. So when people leave, they're supposed to not have any connection or any contact with anyone inside. So if you're inside and someone leaves, they're like dead. You're not supposed to contact them. And you're told that like if you look on the internet or watch television or anything, then the devil has put out like deceptions and you'll be deceived and he'll take over your mind and you'll no longer know the truth and all this crap. It's real. Like I thought it was real. It was very real to me. But I had cousins who left, got out. I didn't stop the connection. And it was kind of when I realized they were doing fine. God didn't strike them down with lightning, you know. They were doing great and they were actually doing good. Their life was taken off.
3 times, yeah.
Yeah. So then I got curious about the outside and wanted to get out.
How old were you when you were brought into the cult?
I was born in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the group started in, I might be wrong. I'm not exactly sure when it started. I think it was the 30s, though. It was like a branch that broke away from the LDS
So
church.
Your family was brought into this.
My mom was born into it as well.
So your
and my
mom-
dad.
And your dad. So your grandmother was into it as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was just like your whole heritage.
Generational. Yeah, very normal to me.
So you broke that then through your family.
Yeah, my mom's still in it, and I have siblings still.
Have you?
So do you have like contact with your mom still?
A little. So if I call her on the phone now, she'll answer and talk to me. But if I try to go to her house, then she'll be like, "Don't come right now. I'll get in trouble if you're here." There's certain times where she still will see me because she wants to know how her babies are doing. 3 of my younger sisters are out now as well. So she'll still contact us as long as it's like secret and she doesn't get in trouble.
Have you talked to Lauren Drain? So she left Westboro Baptist Church. Those are the one that
I
God
follow
hates.
her, but I've
God
never
hates
talked to her.
She has her own show. You should probably go on her own show.
Yeah.
So she would love to have you on. My thing I want. So you watched the whole thing with the I almost said Scientology, but you saw the whole
The
thing.
numerology,
The numerology
yes.
people. Did you notice any of the sort of like? There's always an answer and a way out and an unfalsifiable.
There's
truth?
always an off ramp. So what I noticed when you and Rollo, another thing I noticed too is like when you guys tried to look up facts to face him with, he would hit you with another something to like change the subject, or it was just like slam, bam, bam.
Reframes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting.
Is that something that you saw when you were dealing with the people at the cult? Like, was there all because with Westboro Baptist Church, there was always a misinterpretation of the Bible that led to them always being right, and then the individuals.
There's
always being wrong.
always a justification for something that seems
even when the rules
wrong.
change. Even when the rules change.
Yes, and the rules changed very much within the last 5 years that I was there. Like stuff went haywire.
I noticed this with flat Earth. I noticed this with numerology. I noticed this with astrology. I noticed this with several things, and also with these cults, is that the rules will consistently change based on whatever is necessary in order for them to escape. And so there's always an escape pod. And the reason why that works is, so in science, we have what's called falsifiable predictions, right? So if I were to say, hey, I think that tomorrow, there's going to be a solar eclipse. If there's going to be a solar eclipse or there's not, and I made a prediction on it. When it comes to things like astrology or any certain times like Scientology or whatever, they don't make falsifiable predictions, or if they do, there's always a reason. So for instance, Gary predicted that Donald Trump was going to win the 2020 election. When he didn't, he's like, well, because it was stolen. And my response was, the numerology should have figured out that it was going to be stolen as well. And so that's the thing, because they're unfalsifiable, therefore you can't falsify it. Whereas
The voodoo would have known.
Correct. The voodoo would have known. So that's the difference. When you guys want to talk about evidence is falsifiable. When you're talking about your feelings, those aren't falsifiable. So if I say something like, well, no, there's an alternate dimension where yada, yada, yada happened. Well, can we do testable things on this, or can we test predictions? If we can't, then it's not falsifiable. That's not science, right? So but I just want to point that out, because we get into this discussion all the time where people think that they're going into numerology and that's science. That's not science. Another couple things, and I know some of you guys follow this, it's fine. There's no scientific backing behind, like, say, trauma release, the 5 love languages, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. There's no science behind it. The secret. Whenever those things are tested scientifically, they always turn out to be complete and total hokum. And a lot of women get very offended whenever we say this, but then when they do even the moderate level of research, they find, oh, wait, this is not predictive of anything. And so what it'll do is what's called the Barnum effect. And this is probably what happened with you. Hey, I'm going to read your horoscope. Ready? Go. You seem like a guy who's a good leader. I think people like you, and when you see an opportunity, you take it. But sometimes you lose your temper.
Yeah, I do.
Does that describe you? Pay me $10,000. I'd like $10,000 for that. And therefore, that is astrology, numerology. That's essentially how it works.
Definitely.
That's how the readings work.
The system.
There's also something called mentalism, which is the idea where I would look at you, certain socioeconomic cues of you, and then I would make guesses or inferences based on those things. Maybe your ethnicity, or how wealthy you are based on what you're wearing, and then I would add those mentalist cues in there. And then people will be gullible and fall for those things. Yeah. There is no such thing. It doesn't matter if it's Vedic astrology, Greco-Roman astrology, Chinese astrology, or numerology. All of them have a zero correlation with reality. I don't care how angry that makes you. Unfortunately, that is the case, and there's no proof to say otherwise.
How did you get out? Was somebody instrumental in sort of breaking that? Because it's like, if that's your only frame of reference for life, how difficult is it to get out? Was it you said your mom's still in, but is your dad out, and was he helping you get out?
My dad, that's a whole nother story. My dad was kicked out when I was 10, and then my mom was reassigned to another guy who already had 2 women. So they have multiple wives.
Wait, reassigned? You're talking about the Handmaid's Tale.
So all marriage is arranged. Okay. No one dates. Boys and girls are separated around 2nd grade or so.
And polygamy is a thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow. That's not even legal.
We can't hear you.
Oh, that's not even legal in America.
So they had one legal wife and then multiple others.
Concubines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, in cults, that's a thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But the thing is, gosh, I feel like I don't want to turn the whole podcast about this. But yes,
we're just really interested.
Getting into the real world was a trip. I mean, it was a serious culture shock, and it was hard. It was rough.
For that to be your normal, and for you to mentally pull yourself out of that, and for you to come into our world.
Welcome to our world.
But for you to come into our world and talking about culture shock.
I did. I actually went through a really bad bout of drinking, gained a bunch of weight. I rolled my car. Like, I went through some rough crap just trying to figure it out. Kind of lost myself for a bit there.
Your healing journey is probably still like in action.
Yeah. And talking about my dad is hard just because I was really close with him, and then
I could imagine
when I was 10, he was
probably
kicked
a
out.
Difficult conversation.
Yeah.
For you. So you saying like that you don't want this to be a main focus?
No, I'm okay talking about it. I just don't want to use all the time. Like,
No,
I feel like that's another podcast.
I got another little thread to pull here though, because like you were just talking about how like your dad was reassigned or something.
Oh, my mom.
Or your mom was reassigned.
Yeah.
So, but your dad and your mom were still married, and then your mom gets reassigned. And what happens to dad in that?
So dad, I learned later after I left and reconnected with my dad. I hadn't seen him from the time I was 10 till I was 17. And then my older brother died, and when I was 17, he drowned. And my dad came to the funeral, and he looked right at me, didn't know who I was.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, I'm your daughter. And he was like, oh my God, you're a woman. You know, that was kind of a trip. But, wait, what was your question?
No, I was
sorry. My ADHD gets off on another.
That's fine. No, the reason I'm asking is because I don't know if anybody saw the docutainment, I guess, on Netflix for it was called Waco, I think it was, and it was like with David Koresh and the Branch Davidian, right?
Kind of a similar thing.
The thing that got me of that whole series was the fact that there were guys in there who were married before they got into the cult, and then they got in there and they're just like it was nothing. Like, oh yeah, David Koresh needs to breed with my wife.
Yeah,
and they were all totally cool with that. They're like, well, that's what the Lord said. I'm like, how do you get to that point?
There was some of that in the high order. So there was in 2011. There was kind of like all the people went through this like interviews to see if you're worthy to go on to like the high order or not, and that's when things kind of went crazy because when I was a kid, things were pretty good. Like we had mutuals, like dances and community night programs, harvest festivals, but all of the recreation stuff went away. And then it got really crazy where people were told what they could and couldn't eat. Families were separated. Like I was separated from all my sisters and my mom, and because they got in the high order, I didn't. I was always a little bit, pushed the limits, was questioned a lot of things. And so, sneaking off with friends and drinking out on the Arizona Strip and bonfire parties and that type of thing.
Yeah, still being a kid. Well, the reason I asked is because
But mom and dad were legally married for years and years and years after he left, and she married my stepdad, but they were still legally married for years.
Was stepdad one of the reassignments?
Yeah, he was the one she was assigned to, and he was actually her sister's husband. So now her and her older sister were married to the same guy.
I can't take all of this in. Like, this is literally crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe like this exists in like a state next door.
Can't hear you.
I can't believe this like exists in a state next door.
Yeah,
this is actually crazy.
And there was also a lot of government illegal stuff, like food stamp fraud. The FBI came in and like went through all the businesses in town and kind of did a raid over that. Like,
Yeah.
We were kind of taught that if you flout the system, then it's not illegal, it's clever, kind of. So
this kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. Like, how do you get to the point where it's like so crazy that it's believable, kind of thing?
It's like grooming, though.
But you keep telling the bigger lie over and over again.
Yeah,
like both political parties do this. Like you keep telling the bigger lie over and over again, and then it eventually believe. Like I get what's his name? Vladimir Putin tells everyone that the neo-Nazis have taken over Ukraine. He keeps saying it over and over again. Then he invades Ukraine, and enough people believe it. Well, actually, the approval rating for that war
is
very low.
Reverse engineering.
Yeah,
it's retconning it. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And like this happens all the time. If we look at a lot of, especially the trans kids, sometimes I read a story where a girl did not like growing, like she was in grade 5 and she didn't like her breasts, and so she really wanted to hide it, and then she went to therapy, and apparently the therapist was pushing that. She was you're
I didn't like mine either, but I didn't want to be a boy.
And
I just wrapped him up with an ace wrap.
It's so weird because like now it's like it seems like kids have a choice. Let them be kids. Don't push that you want to be a male because you don't like your breasts. Like that makes no sense.
Or even allow them to present, but don't start cutting off gonads before puberty.
Absolutely
right.
I just don't understand the logic behind that. Like I don't care how pro-trans you are. The idea of cutting off gonads and then also like getting rid of puberty before the age of 9 is also like extremely. It's irreversible. Go ahead.
From a psychological perspective, a child you don't even develop the capacity for abstract thinking until you're after 12 12, 14,
Hey,
you can't drive a car.
Let's say it another way. When you're 9 years old and you're a boy, you don't know if you want to fuck women yet. And that's kind of that's a pretty big part of being a man.
Sexualizing our children.
I mean, 9-year-olds think-
unreal these days, and we are doing this at an extreme. And our responsibility as adults, we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, I mean, the sexualization of our children. Of course,
Absolutely.
yeah, I definitely agree. Like, even these discussions, these were not discussions I had until I was, like, in junior high or in high school. These discussions we're having. And now it's like one of these things, like, we're going to change your gender before you know what sex is, you know what your sexual preferences are, or before you've gone through puberty.
The whole David Koresh thing, right, where one guy is saying, yeah, it's okay, you can sleep with my wife, go for it, kind of thing. I think this is an interesting parallel because right now we're talking about polyamory right now.
Yeah.
Cuckolding and everything else, and it's like we're talking about it as if it's just it's a normal thing, it's a normalized thing. But really what that is doing is it's going against 100 and 200,000 years of human evolution for mate guarding and wanting to say, like, this is my woman right here and I'm parentally invested in this woman. And you can get to the point where the madness and the cult mentality is enough of a meme to sort of recondition a human being to say,
it's the only way to get someone to that point is grooming. I mean, you're told from day one you should have it's in the doctrines, like the trainings, no will of your own. You should only want God's will in your life, and the prophet, the leader, is God. So you do
talking about the physical man who runs your cult is God.
Yeah, he's God to the people, and anything he says goes. Like, you don't question that, because if you question that, you're having evil thoughts. You're letting the devil whisper in your mind, which is, I mean, I got in trouble because when I was a teenager, I started questioning, like, well, why do I not want to get married if I'm supposed to? Like, I was terrified of it.
So do you believe in God or Christianity or religion at all, since you were kind of like pressed under a thumb of like that kind of belief, like under human form?
When I first left, I was like done with religion. I was like, religion to me is something, it's just a tool for people to manipulate masses. But I believe in a higher power, and I believe there is a God. I mean, we came from somewhere.
I'm glad that you've been able to kind of.
I believe in a divinity for sure.
Yeah. And I'm honestly, from heart to heart, I'm really sorry that you went through what you've been through, and you didn't deserve that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So kind of you to say.
So I'm really sorry. And I really pray for your healing.
We're all sorry too, and we love you.
I'm like, first of all, this is for another podcast.
Okay, I mean, you look totally collected. So
we got a good segue here. We got a really good segue here.
That's really kind of you to say, though.
All right,
my human need right now to tell you that from.
Well, means a lot. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
All right, so an incredible transition that might not work.
It's going to work.
Courtney Telia, if you guys watched, Andrew Tate posted something, and Courtney, do you want to express what happened? Do you want to describe?
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning.
Okay,
hey guys, one more time. One fist away from the mic. Okay, no further than that, please.
Okay, so there's an article that came out about me in the UK on Friday, and it is, I am a former school teacher, if you didn't know, turned into OnlyFans. I am married. I have 4 kids. That's the very quick story. An article came out about me that says former teacher that God told me to be a Christian porn star. Okay, so this is my article. The story is true. If you read the story, it says that I do believe that I'm here to help women to release shame, judgment. I've been doing this for years. I do coaching. I help people to work through this. However, the media loves a great headline because it gets people to click. I never stated I was a Christian. Some articles say I'm Christian. Some say I'm Catholic. Anyway, this article came out on Friday, kind of died in the UK. It was whatever. On Monday, I'm on my way to Disneyland with my children, and my Google alerts are on fire. And I see that the New York Post has published an article about me that says the same headline, and then quickly see that Andrew Tate has retweeted it, stating that I or Christianity is the reason he has turned to Islam.
Yeah. So the tweet is actually so Andrew, why did you turn to Islam? And then it was the article.
It's my article. It's me.
The woman who turned Andrew Tate Islam. Just kidding. I love anything that has to do with Andrew Tate. It's always so very interesting. Like,
and below that, we've got the pastor from 2020. I actually interviewed her husband on my show, but the pastoress, I guess, who decided that she didn't want to be married anymore, and she had like 4 kids. I mean, just completely domestic, lifestyle. And I don't know how she got to be the pastor of this evangelical Christian church, but she went from that to being an OnlyFans model and getting into.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in the same tweet thread as yours is.
man, you've been busy.
Was that your situation?
What?
Was he describing you? No.
No, it's somebody.
No, she was never a pastor. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I thought Rollo was saying the story said she was. I was like, man, she's been busy.
There's another one that's
okay.
There. And so what happened with Candace Owens?
So the article
Candace,
has been
we're
a fire,
at
a big fire, and Candace Owens published a video about me. I was also on the Breakfast Club. I've been on BET in the last 72 hours. And so Candace published a video about me saying that the real reason I left teaching was because of the money. Well, yes, that was a part of it. I've been honest about that from the beginning. But also, there's so much more that goes into teaching. I've been on Dr. Phil. I've talked very openly about all of this.
You too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I dare ask this, but who's Candace Owens?
We'll
I know everyone acts like they know.
We have the video.
But I don't know who that is, so I'm a little lost. But
can we get the video? Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect.
She's a debatable woman.
She's a Republican speaker.
Declaration during an interview that quote, God's message has been abundantly clear. I'm here to be a porn star.
Here
this is my way of
in the studio. But she's a Republican speaker who's very controversial. I personally like Candace Owens,
that her spirituality was suffering as a result. What she really means to say is that she found that she wasn't making enough money. And says she's a proud Christian porn star and that God put her on this earth to enjoy sexual pleasure. She's 35 years old, and she made the declaration during an interview that, quote, God's message has been abundantly clear. I'm here to be a porn star. This is my way of serving. What's astonishing is that she's actually a mother of 4, and she previously worked as a high school teacher, but she found that her life lacked meaning, and that her spirituality was suffering as a result. What she really means to say is that she found that she wasn't making enough money, and says she's a proud.
Cool, is that it? Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
that was it.
For those of you in here who didn't hear it.
Yeah. So let's give you a chance to respond to Miss Owens.
What would you like to say to Candace Owens?
I mean, honestly, there's so many things that are incorrect about this. She's gauging an entire thing off of one headline. And I'm like, if you actually got to know me, my story, my history, I have a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree. I was a year away from my PhD when I was like, what am I doing? We know education doesn't pay well, but there's so many more aspects into it. I was emotionally and mentally in a very bad place, not just because of the finances, but the toll that the education system takes on human beings. And from there, I do really believe that I'm meant to help women to release shame and judgment. I think all of us, to some capacity, have experienced shame or judgment or been self-conscious about our bodies or questioned our own desires. And for everyone, that looks different. It could be something like I have helped clients where they're like, I don't feel comfortable wearing a crop top, or I don't feel comfortable wearing a swimsuit to the beach. Or for people who are very extreme like me, who are like, my sexual desires, I feel that they're wrong. And so I help people to work through that. So,
Courtney, a couple things. When they say porn star, are you doing stuff with your husband on OF? I'm just going to ask that question. So you are doing guy-girl stuff.
I am doing porn.
Okay.
That's not a lie. I am a porn star.
I wasn't right. Okay, so can I please
your husband?
I am a porn star. I don't deny that. And here's my thing too. You can believe in God and you can have sex and you can watch porn and you can have sexual desires. I just don't believe that they have to be separate.
Okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Of course you are. That's why we're all here.
It's usually my job.
All right, cool. So no, we'll do it again. As devil's advocate, obviously, you and I are friends. But the thing I want to say here is, so do you understand when, from his standpoint, because he didn't actually come after you. He actually just retweeted the thing and said, "This
Andrew.
is why." Yeah,
Okay,
Andrew did.
yeah.
From his standpoint, it's not that. Let's just say, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but just an overall argument might be, it's not that you're bad. It's that I may want to choose someone who isn't a porn star, who ascribes to the religion that I believe in, whether it is Islam or Christianity, and that person that I may want to have sex with hasn't had kids before, and I'm the first person to have kids with them, and hasn't been with a bunch of men, and hasn't done guy-girl porn. Does that make sense?
Sure, you get to have that experience.
So that might be the devil's advocate reason for why he would post what he posted and why that was so viral.
Listen,
Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm not mad about the post. Like, you get to have your preferences. I think, if anything, I agree that people get to have their preferences. Like, I've stood for that. And let me be clear, I am not doing guy-girl porn with a bunch of people. I do guy-girl porn with my husband that I've been with for 12 years.
See, that's where I think it's something that both of you are, more than okay with. It works for you. It works for your situation. It's what your husband obviously wants because he's still with you. You're still with him. So why is it anybody else's
Exactly.
Well,
Andrew fucking Spandrew, okay? His opinion on your life does not matter. This is your life, and you get to do what you want. This is your life with your husband, and you are a Christian, and your relationship with God is your relationship with God, honey. And nobody gets to have an opinion on that.
The hype woman right here.
I feel like, yeah.
Well, Sam, here's an idea. They get to have an opinion, but she still has the freedom and agency to do whatever she wants.
And their opinion, they have a right to their opinion, but that is not a fact. Opinion is an opinion. It is not a fact.
Right. So maybe that's where the divergence happens, right? Because a man has a preference. Women express preferences all the time. CJ famously expressed the preference for a man worth $5 million, and that's who she wanted to marry.
Still working on it.
When up it to 10. We'll talk about that after.
When a woman
topple it and pass it to the next.
When a woman expresses a preference for height, I don't like guys who are 5'11" or shorter or whatever, and a preference for money or a preference for an ethnicity, we don't shame women for those preferences. When men claim that they have the similar preferences,
I'm going to disagree with you because men shame women all the time. You just talked about how Andrew shamed women for being with milk.
But was he shaming?
No, for preferences.
Was he shaming women, or was he having a critique?
Why do we put
Christianity?
so much effort in caring about what people's opinions are? That's my
No. I'm playing devil's advocate. I understand what you're saying. My point is, when we go back to the whole thing is, what was the original point we were talking about?
We're talking about Christianity.
Yeah. So what Rollo said is it was a critique on Christianity.
It was a critique on religion.
No Christian is perfect. Jesus came and died on the cross because nobody is perfect.
Right.
We are all sinners.
Okay, so
everybody is a sinner. Right?
All right, got it. We sure are. Thank you. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Trey thought he left us back in Detroit. Man.
That's right. Okay. So the thing is, you weren't shamed for expressing a preference.
I'm sorry.
When men express preferences, sometimes they are shamed publicly. And so the thing is, when women express preferences, there tends to be Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg being like, "You go, girl." When men express
from other females,
other
but
women.
not from men.
I agree with her completely. Other men are like, why do you need someone who's like
Look at CJ
6 feet and above, 5'10" and above?
I got roasted for my preference.
I think what Michael's trying to say.
And then I get roasted. I have a lot of guy friends. I get just naturally along better with men.
Okay.
And they're like, "You're single because you're too picky." And then I was like, "I'm not really that picky. I just want 5'10" and above, 6 figures, and ambitious."
You know what? I wasn't going to do this. We got to do the delusional calculator.
Lord.
We have.
my
We
God.
have
I'm
to.
just saying. I don't understand.
Only because
I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
Here we go.
That's why I knew that was
Here we go.
What is this? What is this calculator? I thought you didn't believe in numerology. What's happening?
Before we
Now we're adding numbers.
Before we leave this topic, though, I have to point out that there was also another post right below that about the pastor the female pastor who I interviewed her husband. Right, the guy. It was back in 2020. Yeah, her ex-husband. Who had 4 kids. She was a pastor in a
She's
in
a very good friend of mine. So.
And so she decided to get into OnlyFans afterwards. And so that was a big story in I think 2020 is when that went down. And so I think it was less because I mean we're talking about Andrew Tate of all people, but I think it was less a critique on women in general as it was in why am I a Muslim? It's because this is what's going on. I wrote a whole book on religion, pretty much picking apart like where the church has sort of made compromises that
I guess he feels like Christianity is now allowing things that he feels like don't line up with his personal values, so he went with Muslim because they don't allow the things that maybe don't line up with his personal values or
well, if you have
principles.
if you have a puritanical like Old Testament view of Christianity, it doesn't line up with their values either. I'm not criticizing you.
Yeah, but it's modernized,
right,
very modernized.
Like it's very clear, like what it says in the book of Leviticus or the book of Romans about stuff like this. It's not unclear. The thing is, do we choose to have a very strict interpretation of the Bible or not? That's our decision. And he decided, well, Christians tend to have more liberal interpretation because they come from more egalitarian countries where women have more freedom, and in Islam they do not. And so that's the reason why he may have chose that sort of thing. The thing is, I don't think my main point that I never got to was the idea that a man having a preference or a woman having a preference is not misogyny or misandry. Right, that's where things where like a man having a preference is not misogyny, and that's where I think that there's an issue. I'm very much, if I had a sister who went and got 3 PhDs, I'd be very proud of her. But I'd also know she's going to have a tough time finding a husband. And it's very difficult for a lot of times for women to understand that, because it's like, while you having those PhDs may help you cure cancer, it's not going to necessarily make another man attracted to you. And that whenever we ask men, we tap thousands of surveys, Dr. David Buss has done these surveys, we find that men are not necessarily attracted to those things that women are attracted to. That's why the two genders are very different.
Well, it's like that Sterling Cooper was talking about one time when he was an escort. Then one of his clients was this super rich, like really rich woman. And she was like, I can only trust you, and I can only talk to you like about real shit, because she's like, I can't find guys. It's super lonely. I don't know who's after my money. I don't know. She told him, she's like, it's really lonely making a lot of money.
CJ, you went on with Fresh. Can you talk about your whole experience?
Wait,
there?
you went on with Fresh? I gotta look that one up.
So just, it wasn't Fresh and Fit. It was just Fresh. Like
a one-on-one.
They were
okay.
on a one-on-one date.
It was awkward.
Date.
I wasn't. It was.
I want to see that.
It was with Kevin. Something.
Okay. Who lives in Colombia? Well, go ahead. Express what
something. I don't remember. What's his name? He's like a fairly well-known guy, I think, and. I did like a blind date live stream, and he like plopped down and he's like, I think women don't offer anything but sex. He's like, so
oh my God.
Are you gonna have sex with me or not? And I was like,
oh boy,
wait, what? I was like, wait a minute, but can you?
It was
that's it. Like that's what you.
It was really interesting. Rollo, have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
So basically,
I watched it live.
Thanks a lot, Rollo. Did you see where somebody tipped us $500? A little. Well, I mean, really cool.
It's okay. So basically, he's doing the same thing he's been doing for a long time. Like he'll get girls from like if they're not doing a show, from wherever. But if they're not doing an after-hours show, then sometimes he'll do his own show on his own. So it's not like he's like treating you any different than the other girls that would have come in.
No, they just wanted to make some interesting. It was like grilling. It was basically the thing of grilling. So again, I'm going to talk about both sides here. Yeah. Your side was, hey, this is what I have a right to preferences, right? We were talking about men have a right to preferences. That does not make us misogynist because we have a right to preferences. Correct. Your preferences, you and I are very close, and I've explained to you your preferences. The man that you're looking for is 0.001% of men, right? And that may be difficult for you to find at this time, and so that's going to be a struggle for you. But you at least understand that, and you had discussions with Kevin Samuels about that. So you're realistic about it, how difficult this is going to be. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that was the thing.
But she's not a quitter,
right? But his whole thing, his whole thing was extreme passport bro.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Extreme. For those of you who don't know what passport bro is,
gotta leave the country.
It is men. In this case, he says he's worth over $100 million. It is these men who leave the country because they think Western women are not good enough in order to marry. So he goes to Colombia and he's like, I can consistently have sex 3 times a day, and I don't value sex as much with 3 different women, and I can do this regularly. So if I go on a date with a woman, I need to know that she's going to have sex with me before we go on the date, or else I'm not going to go on a date. And that was his point of view.
That was the first 30 seconds.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God.
Oh Lord.
We got a really good before we go to this female delusion calculator. I got a really good super.
And we'll do the male delusional calculator.
Yeah,
delusion calculator.
There's actually a
have this.
Later for this?
Yes.
We need a $500
I love
Superchat
this.
so we can
right.
so we can be fresh.
All right, so I gotta hit this on the topic of the relationship between spirituality and pornography. Is there a call from God to consume pornography? Is there a call to consume porn as well as produce it? What are the health or spiritual benefits, and are they different for men and women?
I mean, I can tell you, just somebody used to be in a Christian ministry. You know, there's nothing in the Bible about
Well, I was going to say, it's like it's one thing.
Who is your God? I mean, I feel like that's
I
individual.
Went to this church is very liberal.
Here's the thing. You're making a great point. I just mean in the 66 books of the Protestant Bible. In that interpretation, there is nothing in there that expressly allows you to make pornography.
Yes.
You have to reiterate that
That's exactly true. I've read a lot of scripture.
Also, if you want
I never said I was a Christian.
Okay,
Let me
got
make
it.
that clear that I never stated in any article that I was Christian.
You don't claim to be called from God to do.
You mean Candace got it wrong?
I mean, to be fair, just strictly in a vacuum.
Technically, God could be anyone.
I think it's different when you say, I feel called from God to help women feel more comfortable with their sexuality, but being called from God to make porn is different. Maybe making porn was your way of doing that. Like, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, but so that's
could
the
be
thing.
anyone.
Like, strictly in a vacuum, what a genius title for a fucking article.
Yeah.
Like,
It's pretty
genius.
It's like the guy.
I don't think it was accurate, but what a genius. I mean, to
It's
go
perfect.
viral, if you're like watching this as a marketing person, holy
my
fucking
God.
shit.
I mean, I'm going to join your religion.
Yeah. All right, can I read?
Because this is a successful one, so I want this one.
Let's start a cult that's
marketing
actually,
ever, right?
that we can actually do fun shit, not suppressed crap.
Yes, numerology to Christian pornography.
Here we go.
Right here in Las Vegas.
High correlation, absolutely.
Hey guys, here we go. Really quick, 2 super chats. Well, first one was Jesus to the prostitutes. Jesus declared, "Go now and leave your life of sin." John 8:11. That's from City Boy Farmer. And the other one was
She for the
here we go.
streets.
This is from Incoherent Turd. That's funny. No one is perfect and all sin, but we can embrace our sin and
Me
justify
and the Lord,
it
we
as
got an
beneficial.
understanding.
That's what
We must
that's what she was
recognize its
saying earlier.
destruction to our lives and want to improve. So those are the 2 super chats that I have so far. Thank you guys for the super
All
chats.
right, who's
coming up.
going to give me their ideal guy? Well, we should start with.
Okay, hold on a second. A couple things real quick before we get to this, because a couple
Okay.
people haven't spoken. Real quick, Ava, your experience and your feelings from all this. What have you thought so far?
Gotta get
Your homie, like defend your homie. What do you think?
Oh, I think she's amazing. Honestly, I idolize her in her entire life. She gives me inspiration every single day with herself as a woman, her marriage,
Yeah.
all the things. Yeah.
Ava, have you done OF content with one of your partners? Have you received criticism for
Previously,
this?
yes, I have.
you received criticism for it?
Not too much. It's pretty private because I keep my personal life and my other life very, very separate. And a lot of people don't say much to me online.
I ask a
about
lot
that.
of girls this. Do you worry that if you have a future partner, that the fact that you're selling like guy-girl porn of a previous partner is going to affect your relationship?
I mean, I worried about all of it when I first got into it.
Yeah.
And realistically, like, to take just a quick step back, getting into doing even modeling and OF, I had a hard time with it because of religion. That's something Courtney and I have similar, as we were raised, around religion. So it's like, sex is bad, like you're going to go to hell if you do this, before marriage. So I struggled with that getting into the industry. I've worked through it. I still work through it. It's stuff we still talk about to this day. And then with having doing it with a partner, that's another level I had to get through there's like a whole lot of steps I had to get through to get to do those things.
Norma, I want to ask you a question because you're out here in these streets. Like, not anymore. You have a boyfriend, okay? And I always wonder when girls
Out
date
in the streets, not for the streets.
Not you're not for the streets. You have a man. You have a man. What have you learned? You're a huge YouTuber. Has your career had anything to do with your relationship? And has it been difficult to date here in Las Vegas?
So overall, yes, I do think, first of all, dating in Las Vegas is very hard just because of the, it's just like the people like in the industry. Like I mainly, when I was younger, I would hang out with a lot of people who were in the nightclub scene. And in the nightclub scene, it is like known that a lot of them are like hoes, not just guys.
Male hoes, male and female
guys
hoes.
and girls. Both
So
guys and girls are known to be
you had a
hoes.
problem with female hoes.
No, not like
Okay.
not a problem with me, but
Okay.
like I personally would choose not to date guys who worked in the nightlife industry because my own friends, I would hear about from them directly, like, oh yeah, like I like this girl and that girl, like, so I could see that they had like a wandering eye, and it's like I feel like I would have a very big insecurity dating someone in that field.
Does this interfere at all with your work now? Like, tell me how you started the channel. How many subs do you have on YouTube right now?
128,000.
And then how did that grow? And then what have you learned from that? Has that affected your relationship at all? Or is it because you don't really sexualize yourself at all on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Can you describe that, how that whole thing works? Has it had any effect on your relationship?
So here's the thing. Actually, a lot of people, I don't announce my relationship on YouTube because in my analytics, 85% of my followers are men.
Okay.
So
By the way, she doesn't have a relationship. I made that up. And it's all made up. I didn't realize that.
Here's the thing. I am actually trying to get him out into the light. So, and I'm trying to get him on there like little by little.
Are you doing a soft launch?
Yeah.
Ladies, if you don't know what a soft launch is, raise your hand if you don't know what a soft launch is. You guys all know? Wow, that's incredible.
Here,
Okay.
let's do a soft launch.
Obviously,
Ready?
just
Let's
hold
hold
hands
hands. We're
and
just gonna
don't
hold
look at your face.
This is a soft launch.
I did a soft launch with the
Or show
boy
your
that I'm
feet.
dating
Well, you gotta
now.
put your feet
I did a
out,
soft
too.
launch with my current boyfriend.
Yeah, did your previous boyfriend get angry?
No, because I wasn't doing any of my YouTube stuff beforehand.
That's
so
because
he came in the middle
that's
of
the
it.
point of the soft launch, right? Is to
Yeah.
piss off somebody else, right?
Yeah,
I'm Petty White. They call me Tom Petty, right? That's why you're.
The reason I do that is because like when I'm talking about the soft launch on my program, I will get out of the camera shot and I'll do one of these.
Okay, maybe I don't know what soft launch is.
Okay, yeah, no, I
I
mean-
thought you were talking like a
Yeah.
like literally.
A soft launch is when well, I would say almost exclusively a woman will once has a boyfriend or has somebody that she's exclusive with, but she doesn't want to like broadcast it on her social media because she will, as you said, will lose market share. So when your attention is measured in likes and subs and followers and everything else, the minute that they see a ring, the minute that they see hands, the minute they see a guy in the picture, boom, drop. Everybody unsubs from you.
Sam, have you ever posted your dude online?
So I recently was dating somebody and he was telling me that he understood that my Instagram was a persona.
Yeah. So you didn't post it. Have you ever previously posted that you were dating someone?
I actually gave up one of my Instagrams in the past.
Because a guy wanted you to give it up.
Just because he was uncomfortable with the attention.
Okay, got it.
Damn. What? No guy could ever.
Okay, hold on. So that's a great. Would
Yeah.
you? Hold on. Let me ask this, Casey.
Yeah.
Can you get closer to the microphone? Would you, if a guy wanted to marry you, would you give up your Instagram for that?
No.
You wouldn't. You would keep your Instagram.
No, this is my livelihood and that's how I make money.
It depends on the guy.
That's my identity and
Casey,
my confidence.
Can you describe? So are you doing Twitch now?
I did. I just I'm taking a hiatus, but yes, I
And
did.
you were doing Fortnite.
Yeah, mostly Fortnite, and I started with Animal Crossing. So
Animal Crossing.
yeah.
And then you're also
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Gotcha.
It was like
I
family
absolutely
friendly,
love
and then I
that.
occasionally post like lingerie photos, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is she doing?" And I'm like, "Me."
And so do
Yeah.
you think that you being out there like that would have an effect on your ability to find someone to date?
Yes, it's actually had. I'm dating. I've been single for like 2 years now, and I just moved to LA, and a lot of people get like jealous because of the industry events that I go to. There's a lot of good-looking men who are like actors and influencers and all that stuff, and they know that I go to these events to network, but they don't understand that I know how to separate the two. Right? It's like male friends, male colleagues, and actually ones that I could, sleep with or be a boyfriend. Like, you know what I mean? And generally when I go to these events, I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking for someone to
Most of us fall in love
with.
when we're not looking for love, right? Most of us,
Facts.
I certainly was not looking for a girlfriend, and I have one now. She's sitting
Right.
outside. So I
Yeah.
definitely wasn't, but now I have one. So that's just kind of how it works. I need to know what Trey thinks about all of this. Trey,
man.
you have
Yes.
several thoughts.
I mean, I'm just saying, so for me personally, if I'm with a girl and I'm in the entertainment industry myself, if I bring a girl around and everybody looking at me like, dang, man, you brought her to the VIP booth. That happened to me before, so I'm like, I ain't trying to deal with that.
Dang
again.
good or dang bad?
No, dang bad.
Why is it bad if you bring
Because
the
it's
VIP
like,
booth?
dang, you bring this girl around and she done been with all these different guys. And
Oh,
it's like,
got it,
whoa,
got
that
it.
make me look bad.
But you don't think that's like
gonna
uncanny?
say
I feel like
No.
when men,
I thought.
when men bring women
yeah, bro.
attractive women, they're like, oh wow.
Casey, you're saying two different things.
Yeah.
He's saying it's okay. It's good if she's hot, but not good if she slept with a bunch of the dudes. You're saying she's
I
uncanny,
was
which
going
means
to
she's
say,
hot.
just because a girl has a lot of followers or just because she is a model does not mean she's been with a lot of men.
Right,
so
but
I think we need to take a step back.
That's what men typically
that.
equate it to. I think that a lot of them think if you have more followers that you've slept with more people.
Exactly.
And, yeah, I think in their it's again a number.
I've literally heard from another podcast that was like, men literally want to just sleep with influencers and not date them or marry them.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Recreational use only.
That is what
podcast that was.
Because that is what happened.
I'm not going to say it, but
that is what happened. That is exactly what happened to Mia Khalifa. Whether or not she recognizes it, a situation happened where she got out of porn and she started dating men, and then she came to the realization too late that these men, she was dating the man of her dreams. He was dating his favorite porn star.
Yes,
and
that happens a lot.
And that's essentially what happened. But again, guys, I'm going to play devil's advocate one more time. Do you understand how it's not easier for a man in a relationship when you have more followers and you get more attention? Do you understand that could be a man's preference, and that doesn't make him a fucking misogynist because he has a preference? Do you understand? Like, the thing is, the reason why CJ and I, like, we agree on this is because she's fully aware of the bear trap she's stepping in. Just as long as you're aware, I don't give a fuck. But you need to be aware. Don't tell me that you aren't aware of the bear trap. Meaning, it's like, yes, I do all this stuff, and I fucked all these guys on my OF, and for some reason these guys don't like me, and that's not fair. No.
See, I think girls need to realize it has to be one way or the other. Like, you either preserve your traditionalness, you might say, or if depending on what kind of man, if you don't really mind, like, oh, I'll settle down with someone who's in the end. But if you want someone who has all these boxes you want to check, you also have to put an effort in your life to not do things that are going to make him look bad, because no high value guy who's in the very top wants a woman with stuff that's going to make him bad, whether it happened before she knew him or not.
And I need to
ask Trey something.
Because
Trey, you and I were having a conversation about this too. It's like when you post anyone, and like your new girlfriend here, online, that you get a lot of shit from other people for that. Like, why do you think that is? Like, is it because of you, or is it because of, like, they go, oh, well, I wouldn't get with a girl like that?
I think it's more because it's like when I post a girl, it's like, what about her is different than me? You know, like,
hate from other girls.
I
thought hate from red pill.
Like guys, hate from guys too, because it's like, oh, who does guy think he is? But it's hate from other girls because it's like, why didn't he post me? But why did he post her? You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm dating, then I post one specific girl. It's like, why did he post her? But it's like, well, this girl got, she came through, she seen what I needed, and she followed through. She wasn't playing games, got straight to the point, seen what I needed, and stepped in that spot.
I've been following you for a long time, so when I see this happen.
Straight to the point, I want to know, what does that mean?
Well,
she got straight to the point.
Did she have sex with you on the first day? Like, what is that clarification over here? How fast did she come straight to the point?
No, I mean, straight to the point.
What's the point?
You think it is. So look, it can be straight to the point, meaning like she ain't trying to play games. Like, I'm trying to get this guy to chase me, and I'm like, man, I'm so busy. Like, if you a guy, it's like I got so much shit going on. Like,
I'll be on my couch like I'm so busy.
If you trying to get me to chase you, I got so much going on. If it's like, okay, I got a selection right here. If it's the girl that want me to chase her versus the girl that really like me, and she straight to the point, like, I like you, what's up, let's go. And she look good, she my type, then come on, let's go.
Well, when a girl says like trying to chase her, like, she means you just put effort in, like, and give a shit.
Effort is like when I slide in your DMs, and I'm like, what's good?
It doesn't feel like that from our standpoint.
Effort is like if I slide in your,
well, if a girl's trying to play a game, then that girl's got issues in the first place, and you need to step off that anyway.
Trey, here.
I was gonna
that might be me. I might have issues.
Effort ain't like, okay, you take me out on this dinner, then I'm going like fucking like play these games with you.
No, there's a difference between a girl who's like literally playing a game and a girl who wants effort. There is a difference.
So what is effort? Explain that to me, because I'm confused.
just a guy who literally like takes his time to literally like text you or literally like
he's present with you.
But if he shows up,
you guys. I'm sorry.
If he's into you though, truly into you, he's gonna do that.
And then
if you're confused, he don't want you.
No,
and then there's the girls who are playing games who are literally who are like, oh, I'm not gonna double text him, or I'm gonna literally wait 8 hours, or I'm literally gonna wait 5 hours to text him back. No, don't
never chase a man as a woman. I agree with what you said. If he wanted to, he would. If a guy likes you, he will let you know.
Sam, hold on. The problem is what you just described about texting when he says he's going to do. That's for a dude you're already attracted to. That's the problem. It's like ladies just think that they're just naturally attracted to dudes. No, we have to fucking work on this. You get attracted to us because of the work we put into ourselves, regardless of whether you want to believe it. That is the reason you're attracted. So when we go through these things and you start saying, make sure you text me on time, some girls are like, dude, this guy's a fucking stalker. Why is he texting me so much? Again, you cannot give value as a man. Everybody listen, write this down. You cannot give value unless you have value. It is one thing for a homeless person to tell a guy, hey, tell a girl, man, you're really pretty. And another thing for Leonardo DiCaprio to say, hey, you're really pretty. It's different because one guy has status and the other one doesn't. And that's why what you're saying is cannot be generalized. It's only for guys you're attracted to that would make sense. And the problem is most guys you're not going to be attracted to, so it's not going to make sense. And they're trying to figure out a way, how do we become attracted? One other thing before we go on, because I don't want to miss this. The difference between men losing status and women losing status. Ladies, if you get cheated on, I got news for you. You don't lose any status. I don't give a fuck what anyone tells you. The truth is, if you're a beautiful woman and you get cheated on, you're still a beautiful woman. In fact, more dudes are sneaking into your shit. Ready?
She's heartbroken. Don't slide in her DM.
Okay, ready? Here we go. I fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip-flops. You guys have heard that? If you're a man and you get cheated on, you lose a fucking ton of status. You lose friends. You lose followers. You get dunked on. You lose your fucking job. It is very different. That's why I keep saying this. If you think it's a double standard, you're right. It is a double standard. When men get cheated on, it is so much worse for them than when women do. When women go out there and embarrass their dude by going out and acting like a hoe, it is way worse for his status. Whereas a dude goes out there and he's attracted to a lot of women, it doesn't hurt her status. She may feel personally embarrassed for sure. And if you lie to her, that's bad because lying is bad. I totally understand that. But this idea that like one side is more embarrassed than the other, no. Men get embarrassed by women way more. If you think that you're losing status because your boyfriend cheated on you, you are not. Do you really? You guys stop listening to Beyonce after Jay-Z cheated?
I did hear you say Beyonce got cheated on.
Yeah, Beyonce got cheated on. So you guys stop listening to her, right? You got cheated. But when Kanye, you remember when Kanye got cheated on by Chris Paul, and what did LeBron do? Laughing his ass off, laughing at Kanye West because they got cheated on. Because when a dude gets cheated on, you are getting dunked on. When a girl gets cheated on, she's still stunning. We don't give a fuck. The next dude slides in.
You can use this.
It is a double standard.
Michael B. Jordan. Who was the girl that broke up with Michael B. Jordan?
Lori Harvey.
Yeah, Lori Harvey. Yeah. So who lost the most status in that breakup right there?
Man, they hold
I would say Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Because he's expected to be the man.
I know. He's like one of the best looking.
He's like a catch.
No homo. He's the best looking dude.
Shredded.
Well, any man. I'm just saying, men and women in general. Like
she drops him.
Yeah.
So who has the upper hand in that that status wise in that situation? She does. She's saying essentially to the world, I am so high quality. I'm such a badass. I can drop this dude right here and get a better dude than Michael B. Jordan. Really?
I feel like it kind of, and maybe they're gonna come from my head for saying this, but it's kind of on women if they want to retain like the type of man that they want, their dream man, so to say. Mm-hmm. It's kind of on you to, how do I put this? To keep the relationship good. I mean, what I'm saying is sometimes you might need to overlook some of his discrepancies.
Yes.
Because
it's true.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well, I mean, okay, but here's how it is. Listen to this. But listen for just a second. Listen though. So if a guy goes out with his guys, they go to the club, they go to a strip club, they're on a bachelor party, are the chances of him getting, okay, or a girl goes out with her girlfriends, bachelor party, strip club, whatever, the chances of her getting raped, knocked up, all that stuff, like, is that going to happen to him? I mean, he can care for himself, but like, I feel like for us as women, we're more vulnerable. Like, the chances of that shit happening to us is a lot higher. So can we be upset if he is like, I don't feel good about you going to the strip club with your friends because I want you to raise my kids? I mean, you kind of have to be like, okay.
And ladies, you have every right to say no, but then he also has every right to say no.
That's the thing. Is like
that's the point. We're trying to understand. This is a combination that makes these relationships work, and it's not working because we both have fucking delusional expectations on how these relate. And we're going to get into the delusional part here in a second. I do want to ask X-Ray and Tubbs, what do you guys think so far? By the way, super chat from Darren Murphy, X-Ray and Tubbs. This is epic. So proud of you both. They wanted to say hey, what's up? Also, Jake Busey, $10 super chat. What are Mike and Rollo's thoughts on the show? Love on the spectrum. Wow, I found the reaction so fake. Mildly autistic and hot women in real life are into autistic men. Rule number 1, don't listen to the words. That's one of the problems is like, guys, like you understand. Oh, third one, here we go. Can you tell the blonde to stop interrupting people?
That's cute.
I'm so irritated. It's so irritated. No, I'm going to read that. She can interrupt whoever.
We're going to Bible study right after this.
We are.
So
we're going to Zook, but we're going to Bible study instead.
That's a really good point. If you're a really attractive female, you can have a personality disorder. You can stutter, whatever. You're still going to have, like, again, guys, what percentage of men throughout history do you think have replicated? What percentage of women throughout history do you think have replicated?
Oh,
had
that's
children?
Wait,
she probably knows.
And by the way, we know.
Is that a trick? Is that a trick question? Because don't you need a woman to?
But you don't need the same number.
I wasn't listening.
You don't need the same number.
My brain was
throughout history, there's been 110 billion Homo sapiens on this planet in the last 300,000 years. In the last 300,000 years, what percentage of men have had children? What percentage of women have children? And no, it's not the same because Genghis Khan had thousands of children. Ishmael the Bloodthirsty had 800 children. King Solomon had 800 children. So I'm going to ask you again real quick. How many men throughout history do you think have had children? How many women throughout history have your children? What do you think? Throw out a number.
The number,
percentage.
I would say probably 1 out of every 4
I would
men
say
so 25% of men,
75% of women, and 40% of men.
Anybody else?
What?
I think it's
like the opposite.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's higher men.
70-ish% men.
Interesting, Trey. What do you think?
Men can.
That's
men
my
can
guess. I'm sticking
impregnate
to it.
as many people as they want. We can only
They
carry
can literally-
one at a time.
So you're missing the point. That means you only need one man. That's a lower percentage of men. Go ahead, Trey. What do you think?
So how many men was able to procreate out of?
Compare it throughout history. The percentage of men who've been alive that were able to procreate versus the percentage of women. What do you think?
Man, I think maybe 3 out of 10 men. I don't know.
Okay, and then women.
4 out of 10 men. Women, I don't know, maybe half.
Okay, and what do you think?
Probably 30-70 men,
Okay.
70-30
Women? Wait, 30 women?
Everybody in my chat already knows.
Go ahead.
I feel like I've heard this statistic before. I don't know the percentage off the top of my head, but it's more women than men.
Okay, what do you think?
80-30 maybe?
Okay, it's interesting. So the reason why we know is because we can look at the variety of X chromosomes and the variety of Y chromosomes, and we can actually tell to a high degree of certainty what the answer is. And it is 40% of men and 80% of women.
Oh my God.
Throughout history. You're almost exactly right.
Yeah, you were close.
Okay, so do you understand throughout history there have been surplus men? Men have been the ones that go out and fight and die, and you have huge societies where there's large groups of lower status men who have no sex and no children, but women don't have that same burden.
Such a good point.
Does it make sense? So
I'll drop one more stat for you real quick. It's as far back, and I'll give you the I've used this article a million times, but it's as far back as 8,000 years ago, like right around agriculture, the advent of pre-agriculture. 17 women for every 1 man reproduced back then, and that we know this through genomic records. Since we were able to plot the human genome right now, we've figured out that as far back as 8,000 years, 1 guy for every 17 women reproduced. That's not the that's not the percentage.
So let's talk about this.
That's the ratio.
The ratio. So let's talk about this. Why is that? So before 1850, half the Earth's population died before the age of 5. Back during that time, it's about 25% of men that were able to reproduce. Yes, before antibiotics, so there were 1 billion humans on the planet in the year 1900. In the year 2000, there were 7 billion. So 1 billion in 1900, 7 billion in the year 2000. You guys understand? And that's because the advent of antibiotics. So what happened is the world was full of surplus men. We had a bunch of men. Now, when you have a society full of surplus men, you get into situations like you see some places in the Middle East. People strap bombs to themselves. People take guns into schools. That's what happens when you have surplus depression. That's exactly right. So what was the prescribed a prescription for this? It was encouraged monogamy. That's what the Catholic Church brought us. So now that lower quartile of men have at least one sexual partner. Does that make sense? Arranged marriages. Marriage was an agricultural contract. It was a tax-free way in order to pass wealth from one place to another. There was no marriage for love. When the Sumerians did marriage, it was arranged. There was no marriage for love. In fact, if you guys read Romeo and Juliet, we interpret it incorrectly. Romeo and Juliet is making fun of these two fucking stupid children for getting themselves killed for choosing who they marry. Because in the 16th century or the 1600s, we didn't choose who we married, and that was less complicated. Now, we believe that Romeo and Juliet, Cinderella story, the Hallmark card, I pick whoever I want. Yeah. We believe that that's how the world always was. No, that has been created for you so that you buy shit. That has been created for you so that you spend money on Valentine's Day and on Christmas. That is not the history, the lineage of the species that you belong to. Right? Awesome. Right.
Mike.
What?
Mike, I need to add to that.
Are you okay?
Mike.
And now the History Channel section.
It's been like, so for me, like, you know, a lot of people don't know I was married for 8 years. A lot of people don't know that. So, like, when I was married for 8 years, like, I gave this girl, like, everything, right? The Hallmark story. And it was like, oh, you know, like, you got to do this for me to, like, feel, like, more emotionally connected to you. But it was more like, once this girl wasn't happy and she decided, like, I'm done with you. And then I hit the gym every day. And, like, after 6 months, I got my money up. It was, like, 6 to 8 months. I got my money up, got in the gym and changed. Like, all the shit where it was like, you got to do X, Y, Z, bring in the groceries, do this, do X, Y, Z to make me feel emotionally connected to you. Once I hit the gym, once I got my money up, like, the desire that I was getting from other women, I never experienced from my own girl that I was with for 8 years.
Once you got your money up.
Because you were a competent man. Think about your ancestors 50,000 years ago.
Facts.
A female is going to choose a competent man, not the man she's emotionally connected to, the one who is willing to do the most violence on her behalf. That is the man that she would choose. And it's really difficult for a lot of people to understand that. In the end, so the man who has either the broadest shoulders or the highest intellect, or is the funniest and has the most social alignments, or is the most competent with whatever it is that he's able to do.
The money.
Competent. See, the thing is, money does not exist in the ancestral period, but money is an analogy to money is an analogy to competency. Money is an analogy to competency. And competency is what now. So since most men aren't competent, that's why 40% of men reproduce and 80% of women, because women do not need to be competent to reproduce. Men do in order to provide for the tribe, walk around the tribe, make sure the other tribes don't come and kill us, kill the gazelle, protect us from predators. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In the end, that is who you are choosing, and those are the reasons you are choosing him. If you were confused and thought it was because of the 5 love languages, because of trauma release, or because something you watched on The View, that is not true. That is not the reason.
But it is true that I helped you through all that shit, and I followed you the whole way.
No, real shit though. When I started listening to what you were saying, I was like, wait, everything he's saying is like, okay, Rollo's saying genuine desire cannot be negotiated. And when I try to negotiate, okay, I'll do these dishes, I'll do this, I'll spend more time with you here. That shit didn't work. But then I'm going out to the club like, hey, my homies invited me out. And then I go out with the fresh outfit on. I'm ripped now. This girl saying, I want to come back home and do anything like for you. And I'm like, wait, why do this girl that I don't know want to do this, but this girl I've been with for 6 years don't want to do this?
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, everything Rollo's saying is like, you get shredded, like you said. When I became the guy that beat the shit out of somebody to protect the girl, that's when it was like, these girls wanted me. And I noticed like, okay, like facts.
I want to hear what you two say.
I was going to say, like, it's a survival of the fittest. So when you are going out and you're trying to find someone to be your mate, at least on a female perspective, you know, you want to find someone who has strong muscles, a good job, makes enough money to live, and that's what women do all the time. I mean, we're gonna do the delusional calculator in a moment.
The physicality is muscles, the competency is your job and your income, and your personality, your intelligence, and your humor are your social alignments. Those are what leaders in a tribe 50,000 years ago had going for them, and these are the cues today women find attractive. This is not an accident. This is a description perfectly described in evolutionary psychology. If you guys read all of Dr. David Buss's books, none of this is a mystery to you anymore. If you read Dr. John Gray's books about men are from Mars and women from Venus, you will be additionally fucking confused, because that is not based in science. That is not based in science and rationality. That's the reason why. You guys, that's the thing. That's what we wanted for the show. We wanted the reaction. 40% of men and 80% of that's what goes viral. Because a lot of times we're so disassociated from the idea of how much money a guy makes, or what percentage of the population is over 6 feet tall, or how many people make $5 million a year. Like what
please note, it is 10 now. It's 10.
It is 10. So
10. God damn it.
do you have anything you want to say about this?
That was
I
like-
want to give you a
like
chance.
6
I don't have anything additional to add. No.
Okay,
but,
cool.
Yeah.
Mike, I got a thought.
Yeah, me too.
I got one thought. So, like, one year, I think it was like fucking 2020, scrawny guy, not making a lot of money or whatever. 2022, 2 years later, in shape, you know what I mean? Got my style together, got my income together, blew up on Instagram and all that shit, and like everything changed in like a year or two. And that's when I started seeing a different result.
Does she
And, like,
come crawling
everything you
back?
saying- Huh?
Does she come crawling back?
Oh, of course. Every day. Of course. Every day. Look, I'm good, man. Look,
Hey,
I'm
Maybe I had to change
You know,
my heart.
Isn't it weird that like women literally will lay out this? They will be attracted to one thing and literally tell you to do a different thing. It's almost like the deer is never going to teach you how to catch the deer.
Facts.
They were literally you are as a man fighting to be masculine in a world where you are taught to not be masculine, literally by the women who are attracted to masculine men.
Man.
It is so circular.
Welcome to the world of women.
So circular and illogical.
Men do
Facts.
this too.
We've been there.
Just like you guys are sitting here and you're saying, maybe not all of you, but most men, especially on the internet now, are saying, well, I want a traditional wife who stays at home and doesn't have an OnlyFans.
You gotta earn that shit. You gotta earn it.
Wait, I'm not done talking. And then y'all are over here liking Courtney and me's pictures and Ava's pictures and
secretly
everybody
subscribing.
else. And
I wanna add
our
in on
titties
that.
are out.
But they're doing that. They're doing that because it's out there. Okay, look, listen. You put the lion in front of a dead, fresh deer versus a deer he's got to chase. He's gonna go after the one that's like, oh, I gotta get you. He's not gonna like the one. He's not gonna go chase the deer that's healthy and is gonna get out of his way, right?
which
He's
one
gonna
is
go
the
after
healthy
the
deer
one.
and which one is the
Well, he's
healthy?
gonna go after the one that's, hey, I'm over here, come get me. I'm just gonna stay here.
To me,
why
that's
the
like not a
pictures are
man.
there, the videos, and all
Like-
that
Be
stuff.
exposed.
That's why, because that's why they like them, because they're there and they're there. It's not saying
It's
that you
easy.
guys
It's
are
easier.
doing
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
bad
I'm not
for
saying
doing
that's
it.
right
but-
or wrong, but
Right.
what I'm saying is that it's men also saying y'all want one thing and then
they want
interacting
one thing too.
with something different.
Okay,
They want
I want to
I
respond.
think they both have.
Guys, time out. One at a time. Go.
Trey.
So let's say me and you dating, right? And then me and you committed, right? Just because I'm liking some shit, I'm going like whatever, right? I see some shit, I'm like, damn, she got a fat ass, like whatever. That I'll still be committed. Somebody breaking a house, you know, I'll still literally like defend a house, die for you or whatever. Just because I'm out and I'm attracted to another girl don't mean shit. Like if I'm committed to you, I'm committed to you. I can literally come in the house and forget about the shit I was doing earlier when I was on vacation in Vegas. Go back home. Like that don't
Were you
mean
cheating?
like
That's
real
what I
shit,
was
though. But that don't matter. I can come home and be
He was
like all the other
expressing
shit I was doing on the
options.
road don't matter.
This is what I was about to say. What men?
It's like an open option kind of
I was
guy.
gonna say.
I'm gonna defend you when the robber
That
comes.
don't matter. I'll come home and forget about the girl that was in fucking Florida and be like, yeah, what we having for dinner, baby?
sitting there
What's
with
up?
his-
What's good?
Okay, but both
his tongue
Like,
out,
one
but he's like,
at a time. One
okay,
at a
but I
time.
was fine.
One at a time. We're gonna go Rosie, and then we're gonna go Samantha. Rosie, say it again.
I was just gonna say both women have their place because here's what men really want. A lot of girls don't want to hear this, but here's what they want. They want a traditional wife who they know is going to raise their kids, raise quality human sons and daughters, who isn't gonna go out fucking around, who isn't gonna embarrass him, but he also wants to find a lady of the night every now and then. Like this is what they really want.
I like her.
And here's the thing is like
Every man.
this, okay, but listen, for men,
I like her.
okay, well, I didn't grow up in Vegas. I didn't grow.
Neither.
I've been around a lot of average, basic, redneck, blue collar boys, and here's one thing that I've realized: sex for men isn't way different than it is for women. For them, it's like an itch they gotta scratch. And I feel like women are so hard on guys just for being themselves. Like, he's liking hot girls' pictures. His girlfriend comes down on him about it. And I'm like, girl, he's just acting like a straight guy. Give him a break. Like,
him again?
like,
He's like, what's your number?
okay, but like, no, I'm telling you. But women shouldn't be so threatened by this.
Let's talk about it from a
They
nature
shouldn't be so.
Ready? Go.
talk
Casey,
about it from
Casey,
nature's
Casey, I'm gonna ask you first. Ready? What is the hormone? You guys can all answer. The hormone that controls libido the most in Homo sapiens is what?
Testosterone, yeah.
Testosterone. Casey, how much more testosterone as a factor? How much more testosterone would a man have on average than a woman? What do you think?
Shit.
Twice as much? 3 times?
Like
more? What do you think?
80% more?
80% more.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's what I said. 80% more.
What do you think?
I think it's 110%. I don't know.
What do you think? Anybody else?
I just know that it's way different.
Okay, hold on. Well, I'm about to explain the answer. Go ahead. What do you think?
Well, I was just gonna piggyback off Rosie real quick and just say like, they don't care when we like Henry Cavill working out with no clothes on.
And what percentage of men are we talking about?
Right, and we do like it. But that's my point.
Population-wide study.
all males.
Population-wide study. What do you think?
Okay.
Average, the amount. How much more testosterone do you think a man has than a woman on average?
To be honest, I don't know, but I know we have more testosterone than estrogen, so I don't actually think it's a crazy difference.
Okay, what do you think?
Oh, I'm not sure of the number, but I just wanted to add that in like an evolutionary perspective, men want to propagate and have as many children as possible and pass on his genes, whereas women, we have to be choosy because it takes 9 months to have a baby.
Incredible. Yes, exactly. So there should be something in evolution to explain that.
Yes.
We have 17 times as much testosterone
Holy
as women.
cannoli.
My total test will be 950
That's
and
insane.
yours will be 29. I'm telling you, it's not even close. This is the reason why men are 90% stronger in their upper body and 50% stronger in their lower body than women, because we have to compete with other men and other predators and construct other things and show competency, compete for access to those women. It's 17 times. So think of the horniest you've ever been in your entire life and multiply that by 17.
That's the first thing
and
for
that's
you.
what a Tuesday's like for a fucking dude.
See, that's why it blows my mind when these girlfriends think they can control this. They're like, only look at me. Don't look on the internet. Don't subscribe to other girls' OnlyFans. Only look at me.
Then can we get mad at the girls who are literally doing the OnlyFans? And then,
but
we judge in that standpoint?
But hear me out. I'm not done. I'm going
girls
somewhere
are
with this.
literally being ridiculed for their standpoint.
Yes.
Has anybody ever been hunting?
Yes, absolutely. But I'm going somewhere with this.
Hold on, let her finish and then you go.
I'm trying to tell you, for men,
I have a reason for this. I know
they're
I sound
expected to be. They're the last line of defense, right? They're disposable, and so I think for women, a lot of girls have this delusion that, I can go have a good time and then I will find
I'm attracted to women too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I like making out with girls. I love titties. They're amazing. I mean, why not? But
Let's put a 1 in the chat for titties. If you are a favorite of titties, put a 1 in the chat. Go ahead. Finish Rosie and then go Sam.
Okay, but I think women are delusional with, they're like, I can be both. I can be a lady of the night and then I can be the traditional wife and raise. No, that men are the last line of defense. So a high value man who's worked his entire life to provide literally an entire life for kids, for a wife. I think at that point, he's had to work his whole life to be worth a shit, right? Shouldn't he now, since he's the last line of defense, he should have, I don't know, both in his life? But the women, I mean, they both have their place. Like, I think women need to realize, if this is the direction I want to go, they need to not be delusional about the fact that they can also be this for, like, a king. You can't be the queen and the mistress. Like, you do you know what I mean?
Every man wants a slut.
I need to go after
He just
Sam,
wants her
Mike.
to be
I gotta
his
go after
slut.
Exactly.
Sam, go ahead. Sam and then Trey. Go ahead. Sam, what were you saying?
So what I was saying about like hunting, like literally there is a point in like, I've been out hunting and I know that when you go hunting, there's literally a time span where you cannot go hunting because there is a scent that the female deer like put off that the bucks literally will smell and they literally like go retarded because they smell.
Rutting season.
They smell.
Or they have that spray. They have that spray they'll spray with to attract them.
Like smell and they literally like they don't pay attention to anything and they're literally like smelling these females and they have one track mind and they're literally like, and that's like how the male mind works and we're all we're mammals and that's how males are, and when they see a female and they have this sexual desire, they have a one-track mind.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. It's a sexual desire. And I mean, us as women, we have that sexual power. And absolutely encourage for women to use that.
Okay.
And I think that it's a beautiful thing for us to be able to use.
Sam, real quick, and then we get to Trey. So there's 3 genders. Ready? Go, come after me, guys.
Three genders?
There's 3 genders. Ready?
Come after him.
High status men, low status men,
Fight
women.
me.
What you said?
Yes.
What you said?
I'm sorry, but there's high status women too.
No, while you may be right, remember 80% of women got to breed. So the difference between high status women and low status women isn't really that much. And their beliefs on life aren't that much. And when they get older, they have the same beliefs. So I don't believe that there's that much of a difference. High status men and low status men have literal different neurochemicals. They have different life expectancies. They have different number of sexual partners and different amounts of income lifetime. So there's a very different thing. So what you're saying about women having all the sexual power, you're right for low status men, but not for high status men, because we're about to show you right now on the delusional calculator that that's the case. Real quick, Trey, what do you want to say?
I was gonna say it's crazy that a lot of women that I've noticed figure this out like later in life, and the earlier you figure it out, the better. So when women see me posting somebody on Instagram and they like, why her and not me? It's because this woman figured it out early in life. And it's like, instead of being like, don't do this, don't do that, I'm like, I'm a traveling artist. I'm a rapper. I be on tour. I gotta, you know what I mean? So it's like, when you figure out like, you're going to be doing this, you're going to do that, as long as you're committed to me. The reason this person is the most consistent in my life is because they understand the lifestyle that I live, and they understand I'm going to be there consistently. The reason I'm consistently there for this person is because they not holding me back. And they understand how I am as a man, and that's why they on vacation with me. That's why they on the boats with me. That's why they in the sports cars with me. That's why they in the helicopters with me, because they understand who I am as a man. And that's when they get it, not the ones that's trying to tell me what not to do and dictate my life, you know?
Love it. All right, ready? You guys ready?
Here we go.
Yes. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are ready for the female delusional calculator.
I've never heard of this in my life.
All right, the doctor must get to work. All right, here we go.
Delusional calculator.
Okay, so ladies, here we go. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get your reaction. So make sure you whatever your reaction, it's an authentic one. We're not only going to give you, we're gonna do this as far as percentage. And by the way, this comes from the U.S. Census data. If you guys want to go check it on your own, we're going to ask you the different demographics of your dream man, and then we're going to ask you what percentage you think that dream man is, and then we're going to tell you some interesting socioeconomic percentages that you might not be aware of. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Your dream man. What's the first question?
All right, we're looking at age. We need an age range. Who's the youngest and who's the oldest?
Ladies, what's your age range? What you guys want?
We need to get an average. We need an average of the room. Just put that
45 to 65.
What do you want? We'll just go 40. We'll go 50 at the high end.
I mean, she's looking for the millionaires.
Sam, what do you want?
I want him too tired to fight.
Let's go 40 to 50. What do you want?
I'd say 35 to 45.
Okay, anybody else below 35? Anybody else below 35? What do you want?
25 to 35.
You want 30? You want 25 to 35. Wow.
25?
Keep going.
30 to 45.
30 to 45. Anybody else? What do you want?
35 to whenever.
Beautiful. We're going to go 30 to 50. Go
30 a minute for life.
30 to 50.
Damn, Vegas too young.
Yep. All right, what's the next one?
All right, 30 to 50. Exclude married, or are you home wreckers?
Does anybody give a shit if he's married, or you guys all want a non-married guy?
Non-married.
Doesn't matter if he's been married. Just don't be married if I want to get with you.
It's so amazing how women say this, and if you actually looked at the numbers, that is not how women choose their man. Go ahead. So we'll say exclude married. Keep going.
Okay. Any color, race, white, black,
for the
Asian,
purpose
or
of this,
any.
we're going to do any race.
We actually don't care.
For the purposes, we're going to do any race.
I think any race.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, the reason they put that in there is because all of these statistics are drawn from the U.S. Census data. So it's like the percentage of it's going to be different for different racial aspects. Okay, so height. What's the minimum height of your dude?
5'10".
Okay, let's go.
Minimum height?
Yeah, minimum. Go ahead.
Minimum, like 5'2".
Okay, go ahead.
5'2". When he stands on his money.
She only cares about money.
If she only cares about money, that makes a lot of sense. There's these short kings.
Okay.
Short kings make a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Courtney, give me a low end.
I get it.
I would say 5'10".
She's like, how tall is he?
Give me one.
On his wallet.
I would say 5'8", because that's how tall Zac Efron is.
Okay, keep going.
5'6", as long as he's taller than me.
What?
5'10".
5'10".
Taller than me, but don't be like drastically shorter than all your buddies, because I'll know.
Okay, got it. So, all right, cool. What do you, Casey?
5'9", 6 feet.
5'9"?
Yeah.
6 foot to 6'5".
Okay, cool. So,
Dang,
I think you want to do 5'11"?
Justin.
You want to do
Who's
5?
Justin? Can we talk
Justin?
11.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna do we're gonna do a couple of these. We're gonna do 5. Well, actually, let's do 5'10" for the first
5'10",
one,
okay.
and then we'll do 6 feet
All
for
right.
the next one.
Exclude.
Actually,
OB,
let's do 6 feet, and then we'll do the lower one later.
Okay, we'll
do
do
6
6
feet.
6 feet.
Okay.
Are we
and
all single girls here? No.
It doesn't matter if you are. Just okay. Ready? Let's go to the next one.
Exclude obese, or are we
Are
including?
you guys fine with obese? I know you're fine with obese.
don't care,
She doesn't care about obese. Anybody else? Raise your hand if you don't
CJ
care.
doesn't get to answer anymore. She ruined the average.
That's just not healthy.
Even if you make a lot of money,
much about you. She's
to be
gonna be
fit.
feeding him pasta.
There's like an age limit.
Okay, we're gonna exclude obese because. Okay, so
Come on, baby.
Like,
You
no
can do
age
it.
limit, no weight limit. I just want your
let's
bank
go.
account
Let's
limit.
go. Ready? So here we go.
Dead right
All
now.
right.
I love her
Okay,
for this.
everybody gets to answer except CJ on this one because she will throw the average
the anomaly.
off. Minimum income.
Go. Minimum income.
Oh God, when I met my husband, he made 40,000.
Go. Go. Go.
40,000.
200,000.
200,000. Keep going.
100K.
Go.
I don't know what this is in American, but 70K in Canadian.
In Canadian, so we'll just say
Like
we'll say
100.
80, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's a little higher. Yeah.
40,000.
40. Keep going.
I want to travel a lot, so 100,000 if I'm not careering.
Casey, you live in LA.
80K minimum because I know I'll be bringing.
80. Go ahead.
I thought I was going to be the lowest, but I'm going to say 300,000.
300,000.
All right.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start at 100K.
I'm sorry, I live in California.
Time out. We're going to do. Hold on. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a middle one, then we're going to do a low one, and then we're going to do one.
We
just
better
for,
afford a fucking
We're going to do
house
one just for
here.
Sam. We're going to do the last one just for Sam. Okay, what is it?
100,000.
We're going to do 100,000.
Okay, hold on a sec. All right, let's
100 is ideal.
100 is ideal. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Because if we ask CJ, it would be 5 million to 10 million, and that it's not even.
Ready to go.
on
Ready. Hold on.
5'2" and obese.
That's not even on the slide.
Are we done? Okay,
Wait, can we guess?
Time out. We are. Real quick. Real quick. Before you don't let Sam see it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask you guys. Read off the demographics one more time.
Delusional.
No, it'll tell me, but here we go. It's,
That's okay because I don't need to date nobody.
Hold on, Sam. Age range 30 to 50. Exclude married because you're not homewreckers. Any color or shade. Minimum height 6 foot. Okay.
Yep.
No fat dudes. And it's funny. It says exclude obese, but it doesn't say overweight.
Yeah.
Okay. So and minimum income is $100,000.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, ready? From those demographics, what percentage of men? Oh, actually, no, we're going to go the other way. Sam, from those demographics, what percentage of men?
In America. In the United States.
We just said, hold on. We just said 6 feet tall and 100K. Go.
Hers would probably be like,
No, that's why we're not doing that. We're not doing this.
He didn't go there, and they went there anyway.
50%.
Hold on, time out. 50% of men.
50% of men.
Oh, wait, for me?
No.
50%
One more
of
time.
men meet that criteria.
Sam, I need you to pay attention. Sam, look at me. Ready?
Sorry.
Sam, look at me. 6 feet tall or higher, 100K or more, not married, not obese, and between the ages of 30
not
and
obese.
50.
Well, we talked about obesity.
Obesity. What
earlier.
percentage of men is that? What percentage of men are we describing?
22.
22%. Casey, what do you think?
1.5%.
1%, 5% of men. What do you think?
I already know, but I'm going to give you the number that I thought before I knew. 35%.
35%. What do you think?
Like 0.01.
What do you think?
0.0001.
Miss Gio, Jolly, what do you
I
think?
thought it was 2%.
Okay, what do you think?
15%.
15%. What do you
I was
think?
going to say same.
15%. What do you think?
Less than 10.
Okay, go ahead. What is the number?
Definitely less than 10.
Okay. The number
is the magic number is 0.38%.
Oh my God.
0.3% of men. Hold on, time out.
You're gonna do mine?
This shocked the socks off me when I first heard it.
Time out. That's for 6 feet tall and 100K.
That's just two.
That's just ready. So we're gonna encourage you, ladies. You guys ready to be encouraged? Let's do 5, 10, and 70K with all the same numbers.
Let's do mine.
No, we're doing yours last.
We're gonna do mine.
We're doing yours
because
last.
I am literally never gonna find a man.
We're doing yours
Although
last.
you know what?
True. All right, here we go.
Although-
6 foot.
So we're gonna do 5. We're gonna
You
do,
and CJ might have to marry each other.
Ready? We're gonna
Although I did find a great man, and he might actually meet all of them, so I might have found that.
We're doing 5. We're doing 5, 10, and 70K.
5,
same
10,
numbers.
5,
Ready?
10,
Should be
70K.
way more, right?
This is my field.
Ready?
Waiting.
Cool. Ready? 5. You got it.
All right, here we go. Yeah, 5,
What do you
10,
think?
70.
What do you? How much
I'm
more?
looking for it,
What do you
so-
think the number is now? 5, 10, and 100K.
Like 3%.
3%. What do you think?
Yeah.
5, 10, and
I'm
100K.
going to be a little more realistic this time. So, yeah, 5%.
5%. What do you think?
Oh God, like maybe 2.
What do you think?
3%.
What do you think?
Yeah, about 5%.
5%.
Half
What
a
do you-
percent.
Half a percent. What do you think?
I'm going to go 2.
2%.
Why are your
What do you think?
percentages lower?
What do you think?
That makes no sense.
I don't. Let's
Because we just got hit with reality.
5'10",
Guys, time out. Guys, I need you to listen. I need you to pay attention. Ready? Go ahead.
5'10", $70,000 is 1.8% of the population.
1.8% of men. That is 5'10".
Listen, no.
Y'all suck at
I have a
making
question.
money.
With all this testosterone that y'all have, why aren't you out there making more money?
Because the men who are making the money, that's the reason why. Because we compete. That's the reason why. Because it's hard. That's the reason why.
What was the first?
Mike,
Okay,
I
ready?
got a
Hold
question
on.
too.
Now we're just because I want Sam to feel
All right.
great. Sam, we're gonna do yours.
Just for Sam.
Sam, it's gonna be 6
I
foot.
really thought my standards were.
Ready? Here we go. We're gonna go 6'3" for
You get
Sam.
to keep them though.
And we're gonna
You get to keep your standards.
I like my high heels.
Ready?
Okay, here. Okay, age range. I need the age range from you. Youngest you do and the oldest.
Oh, God, 40 to 50.
Got it.
Jesus.
Okay, perfect.
I am 30, almost 34.
Oh,
Beautiful.
okay.
I know I look
It's over.
younger.
Okay, minimum height.
Do we do 6'3"?
6'3",
6'2"?
6 foot.
6 feet.
6 feet.
I honestly dated somebody that was 5'10", but I couldn't wear my high heels.
Okay, let's go. And then the you
6
said,
foot.
and she said 300K. That's the last one. Go.
300K. Okay.
Yeah, that's what she said. She 100% said 300K.
Yeah, I did. I remember.
Ready?
She did.
Rewind the tape. Okay,
Samantha, what do you think your percentage is going to be?
Like 0.2%.
No, Sam, you're off by a factor.
Sure, there's
Hold on.
another zero in front.
Sam, you're off by a factor of 10. It's 0.02%.
You know what's great is that I'm the fucking Tin Man and I don't fucking feel shit, so we're fine.
You still get to have it.
Ladies,
Congratulations, you don't belong on this planet. 5 out of 5 cat bags. I don't think I've ever seen a screen that doesn't have any dots.
Ladies, ladies, do you remember the criticism that Andrew Tate had in the beginning that we were talking about? It is not the fact that you guys aren't great. You're great. The problem is there are other options for high status men, and you guys are a little delusional what you thought high status men were. Ready?
That's okay because
This is
I
where
deserve that.
you got to
I
overlook
deserve
his
the
discrepancies.
0.02.
Comes in.
I'm
Sam,
okay with that.
Sam, ready? The average man in North America makes how much, guys? Go ahead.
40.
What- how much-
40,000?
How much does he make, Sam? The average guy in the United States makes how much money?
How much does he make?
How much? You tell me. What's your guess?
What do you think the average dude?
The average guy? I'm not going after the average guy, so
No,
I'm
but
fine
just-
with
no,
that.
but how much does he make?
How
Take a
much
guess.
do you think a guy makes like that?
Oh, geez. In America, especially with our fucking politics these days, probably like fucking 40%.
40,000.
Hey, thank you for
do you
voting
think?
for fucking Biden on that one.
60,000.
60,000.
55.
55.
45,000.
45.
45.
45. 45. What do you think?
40.
What do you think?
36,000.
Very good. It is $37,000 a year. In order to get ready, the number
realistic lady, you
ready,
know?
the number of men making over 20, the number
I
of
made
men,
more than you in a month.
the percentage of men that make over $100,000 a year is. Just throw it out there real quick. What do you think?
Not even one.
10%.
10%. What do you think?
8%.
So it's about 26% of men. Is that correct? Yeah. Most of them are married. The vast majority are married. That's
I was gonna say.
I hope. Thank you.
Ready? Here we
How
go.
are they even making less than 40K a year?
Because they live-
subscribing to our
Because it's
OnlyFans?
everywhere
live in-
but the major cities in
They live in
America.
Des Moines, Iowa. Ready?
Yes,
So here's
exactly.
here's the next one.
Yeah.
In order to be in the top 1% of wage earners in the United States, you have to make how much money, Samantha? The top 1% of wage earners.
600,000, yeah.
600,000. What do you
You
think?
guys make 7 figures.
So go ahead. How much? How much?
At least,
$1 million?
$1.5 million?
2 million? What do you think?
I'm thinking like 800,000.
800,000. What do you think?
The top.
Top 1% of
least.
wage earners make how much?
5 million.
5 million. What do you think?
It's $1 billion.
The top 1%?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I'm going to go with 100K.
100K. What do you think?
250K?
250. What do you think?
A million.
$1 million. What do you think?
500K.
500K.
I was going to say the same.
What do you think?
100.
It is 100 what?
100.
$100,000 a year make you think of the top 1% make $100,000 a year. It is
Oh, sorry.
$400,000 a year.
wow.
The top 1% of wage earners for those of you who thought it was
So
a billion.
It's not that hard.
That was much higher.
I lowballed it.
It is, isn't it crazy that these numbers that you guys thought that the average man was going to be like what percentage of men are over 6 feet tall, Samantha?
And 3/4 of those are married. So you got to go wreck some homes.
Samantha, the percentage of men that are over 6 feet tall. What do you think it is, Samantha?
You have to be a home wrecker, girl.
I can't do that.
Rollo, you
can't check that marriage box.
Casey, this is the percentage of men that are over 6 feet tall.
I would say like 2%.
2% of men over 6 feet tall.
Okay, like 5. Maybe.
5%. What do you think?
Yeah.
Over 6 feet tall?
Over 6 feet tall. 2%. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm probably about
We have really jaded you ladies.
Yeah,
The percentage of men over 6 feet. 7%. What do
We're
you think?
having so much fun with this.
20%.
My bubble is completely bursted.
15%. What do you think?
12.
12. What do you think?
I don't even know.
The number is 14% of men are over 6 feet tall.
Hello, 14%.
Ready.
The name is the Samantha Malone. Show up in my DM.
Ready.
Never tell her the odds.
Ready, guys. One more time. The percentage of men that are 6'3" is 1% of men. 1% of men. You want a guy who makes $500,000 a year and is 6'3".
So you're saying there's a chance?
It's not 0.
Right, but do you understand where we come up with the term?
It only takes one.
Yeah,
all you need is one.
Do you understand where we
married, though.
where we come up with the term delusional? So the idea that you guys are going to find that man is less than 1%. The fact that you're going to have sex with him is less than 1%. The fact that you're going to be in a relationship with him is even less. And the fact that you're going to keep him without cheating is even less. Do you understand why we say delusional?
About that keeping him.
Do you understand why we say delusional?
Yes.
Do you understand why we say delusional?
If you're going to keep him, you got to bring girls home, or you got to turn a blind eye, because
I agree.
He's in that. I mean, he's just going to be like, you're out.
Negative thinking.
Do you want to coach for me? Like, seriously?
Totally.
I would hire you as a coach right
Maybe
now.
that's normal to me because
I agree.
I mean, to me, I don't know. Like, I'm not threatened by other girls. In fact, other girls are hot.
I have a question. Would you, let's just say you married a high value man or a provider man, as I prefer to call them. What are you doing? Are you bringing the women home? Are you turning your head the other way? Or what's that look like for you?
So if he goes out with his buddies, bachelor party, whatever, they have strippers, he messes around, comes home, just don't tell me, because it's not my business. Just don't bring STDs home to me, or I will never forgive you, ever, ever. No. You will never hear from me.
What if he has a baby?
How can you guarantee that if you're hooking up with other women?
I expect him to handle his business.
My last relationship,
if he's a high value man, I'm trusting him to handle his business.
I agree.
So I don't even want to know about it. It's not my business. It's not for me to tell you what you can and can't do with your life. However, I would hope that he has enough respect for me to not mess with my mom and my sisters, my friends, people in my group that are going to cause drama or like mess up my dynamic with my circle. Like, don't do that to me. But
what does your relationship look like in regards to the home life? Are all bills paid? Do you have a nanny? Do you have Chanel,
if I'm turning
bottoms?
Yeah, he's a high value man. However, I cook. I will meal prep for you to help you stay fit.
Oh, okay.
I will.
We're not going that far.
Like, no, I right now I do that.
I'll make you a sandwich, baby.
Right now I do that. I meal prep. I do the macros.
Make a sandwich from the Argentine.
I will make your life easy too. You make my life easy, I'll make your life easy.
Hey, it almost sounds like what men really want is a woman who is going to be loyal, feminine, and bring them peace.
Yeah.
What a fucking crazy idea.
I got another
loyal,
one.
feminine, bring them peace.
I got another one for you though. Here's the thing: is so we always hear high value men cheat, or they should have the option to cheat, or they usually are the ones.
Is it cheating though if he's being honest and you know?
Okay, so here's what I'm saying is like we're talking about open on his end and closed on your end. Okay, so yeah, a polyamory, like so it's like he's a high value guy, so you're gonna have to at least in some way accept the fact that you're going to have to share this guy. Now imagine the guy comes along, he has everything he's the dream date that you've had, right? So it meets all the criteria here. If you get into a monogamous relationship with that guy, just as like when you were married as well, if you get into a relationship with a high value guy, then would it not stand to reason that you would want to find some way to appreciate that guy? Should say, you know what, he could be. Women don't want a man to cheat, but they love a man who could cheat because he's the guy that other men want to be, and other women.
But I'm not sharing him if he's mine. I mean, random hoes come and go, like those bitches or whatever. They don't. threaten me because I'm the queen of the kingdom. I'm raising kids. I'm here for life.
So do you in the back of your head, you go, okay, I know this guy could have options. I know this guy is
but that's even that makes him even hotter.
The whole time.
Yes, because he the fact that he keeps me around for life in spite of the fact that I'm aging, in spite of the fact that I don't know, like I feel like guys are very aesthetic when it comes to women. They are drawn to looks, right? Or so in spite of the fact that I'm getting older and you know all the things that come with like growing old together, and he still chooses me and keeps me, doesn't just cast me aside, I would feel very special.
I was going to say, does that make you want to appreciate him that much more?
100%. 100%.
Because that's usually not the case, as you were saying before. You get into a relationship where you're trying to do everything. You're already a high-value guy to begin with. And you get into that situation. And you get into, well, you get into that situation.
But why was she expecting you to do house chores is what I'm confused by. Because if you guys are making a life together, you're going out and working.
Because they think that that's the emotionally, like, it's the right thing to say. It's the emotional thing to say. That's what I say.
Okay,
can I go around the room? I already know you have OnlyFans. Do you have OnlyFans?
Raise your hand if you have an OnlyFans. Just raise your hand if you have an OnlyFans.
Who has an OnlyFans here? You have an OnlyFans?
Technically, yes.
Technically?
I use it as a Patreon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just show my feet, so it doesn't count for me. So I make so much fucking money.
I want to go around the room here. So if you have OnlyFans or if you're on Instagram, who has? I know you're at 1.5 million. You're probably 500,000 right now.
I was until it got disabled.
Okay, and you're
75.
75. You're at 100 and something, right?
I got like hacked.
128.
128.
180.
180. You're on. I know you
880.
are. So the reason I'm asking this is if you found the guy that we just, went and did the statistics of, you found that needle in the haystack, would it occur to you to say, you know what, this guy is like unique. He's like a unicorn. I'm going to disable my Instagram. Would it occur to you?
Ladies, raise your hand if you would do that. If you would disable your Instagram.
Would you kill your OnlyFans if you found the right dude?
So if that's what he wanted,
no, he's not asking you. He's not asking you. You're thinking, I better fucking turn this off.
So I've actually
talking about Tugs and then Sam. Go ahead.
I asked mine when we started dating. I said, hey, I have this Twitch channel. I do YouTube with her. I have a public Instagram. I don't post anything crazy. I'm not that kind of girl.
If your dude has a problem with Twitch, I think.
But but I told him, I was like, I have all of these things. I have the Instagram. I post, we post photos, whatever. I was like, are you still okay with me having these things? I have my own career. It's like the Twitch is. Oh yeah, I asked him straight out, and he was like, no.
And like
Sam, go. Hold on, real quick. Sam.
So I've actually been going through this relationship, and I did actually disable my OnlyFans, and he told me that he didn't need me to, that we just needed to talk about boundaries.
And what were those boundaries?
That he, like, I was never doing boy-girl content.
Okay.
That he just wanted me to never, like, sell, like, any kind of nudes or topless or anything like that, and that he just wanted me to specifically to bring it down to lingerie photos.
You're talking about in your OF, not on IG.
Yeah, it was just OF.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so in relationships, I believe in boundaries. So that was just something that we discussed. And so we brought it down to that. And I just specifically brought it down to lingerie.
But did it occur to you to do that yourself?
So, I actually thought that for myself when we started dating, that I actually strictly stopped posting, and I was like, well, I really, really was into this guy, and I didn't think it was appropriate for me to have an OnlyFans at all. But it was an income for me, and I do have twin boys, and I support them off of it. So he told me that he didn't want me to sacrifice that income.
Okay, real quick, let's do X-Ray and then let's do Ava.
So I've always been pretty conservative on all my channels because if I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to display everything that men want to see. My husband even says, you can wear a low-cut top. I'm okay with it, but out of respect to him, I'm not going to show off my breasts, my ass, and that.
Scoot.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
I wasn't sure. Good. Hey guys, both of you move towards Norma. Both of you move towards Norma.
Okay. Out of respect, because I don't need to show my skin off to random dudes that mean nothing to me. So I like the fact that I am respectful to him, and I laugh at the thumbnail because I'm wearing a Udi.
You guys had pajamas.
I know.
Pajama shots on there. Yeah.
So yeah. I just noticed that.
So I have a question. This man that you're describing, right, to give this stuff up for, does this man, you're saying that he's the top, all these top things, provides all
Checks
these
off all the
things,
lists. Checks
literally
off all
everything.
the things,
I have offered that to a man twice that didn't provide all of those things. So for that, I most definitely would. But it's because it's like, then I don't have to do it. Like, I don't have to do it for work. If they're providing X, Y, and Z, like, then it's not something I have to do. I do enjoy it, but I do it as, you know, a survival thing. You know, like that's how I live my life.
Yeah, the revenue.
Currently.
Yeah, it's lifestyle creep.
Yeah, but if I had, like you said, all this 0.00 non-existent thing, I would give it up in a heartbeat.
That's kind of where I'm at. Because I'm trying to do music, started a band, and I sing. And so I use I use my platform for multiple things. I'll pick up odd, modeling gigs. I'm not a model by any means, but I've done trade shows and, odd jobs here and there. But if I use it to bring in income, then I'll keep using it. But if he's bringing all the income in, I wouldn't need to.
CJ, would you give up your OnlyFans for that? For me, for your ideal guy.
For you,
Yes,
is all bills paid?
Yes.
Okay.
$10 million.
What? Yes.
Just like Gary the Numbers guy, drop a big old wad of cash.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, yeah.
I'm right. Whack. Money.
If I was being provided for and being kept in a lifestyle that I desire, I wouldn't be wanting to go down
would
in
it
lifestyle.
Occur to you to go, you know what? This guy's the hottest guy I've ever been with, and I don't want him to get any of the wrong ideas. I think I'm going to quit.
I would be open to that. However, there needs to be some discussion prior to this, because then what if he felt a little bit put upon in that, oh, well, you just quit and we didn't even really discuss it.
Well, I'm just saying, would it occur to you so that there wouldn't be any confusion, so that it's like you're the one. I'm a ride or die girl. I'm so much so that I'm going to kill my own.
I would have to agree with the other ladies too. I've even tapered back on posting on Instagram certain things when you're in a relationship, because you can see how that might reflect to his friends or whatever. Even though I would still have the OnlyFans in previous relationships I've had, you do start to taper back.
I've gone through my Instagram and cleaned it up. Deleted stuff
or even
that I thought was maybe putting her off the wrong signal. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe just to be a little
she
bit
would
more
never do it.
She's like,
I've been paid for 10 years.
But you and your husband
more the other way. I'm like, oh, more.
Okay, but see, you're with the man that you're making a life with, and that's what you guys are doing together, which is beautiful. It works for you, for both of you. Like, why would you quit? He's in it too. Yeah. So I see that, but
that's the goal.
All right, now let me throw a monkey wrench in all this. If the guy asked you to quit your OnlyFans,
just put your hands up if you have an OnlyFans.
If he provided X, Y, and Z,
all bills paid.
So as long as he checks off all the boxes, then he's in.
Yep.
Okay. Would you put him on your Instagram? I know I don't have to ask you. I already know your husband's on your OnlyFans with you.
I have in my past due to being guilt tripped.
Hey, let me ask you. What happened to your engagement when you put him on your content?
Mine never really changed. I don't know.
Are we talking about OnlyFans or are we talking about Instagram?
Which one do you want me to talk about?
So Instagram. Did you lose engagement when you showed your man?
Not really, because I have a lot of male friends.
Okay.
So I have posted that's for example, the last guy I dated, right? Like, it was a male friend, so it's that wasn't a new person, and I never really posted
like a kissing photo.
Yeah, it wasn't.
You guys did almost boudoir photos
we did
together.
Like a hot photo shoot.
Yeah, I'm not wearing boudoir with anyone. Anyway.
They were beautiful photos. They were beautiful.
They were really,
sure they're beautiful.
They were great.
They were hot
I liked
photos.
them.
Listen, you got to pay a lot of money to see this.
Oh my gosh.
All right, cool. Do you want to get to the YouGov thing, or what do you want to talk about?
Well, we'll get to that.
The male delusion.
Do you want to go to the male delusion calculator?
Okay, Treys.
Okay.
Hold on. Who's behind the boards right now? Is Chase there? No, I don't see him. Hold on. All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to do the male delusional calculator. It's going to be much faster. We're just going to do one, okay, just so you guys can see. Now, do you remember your numbers? Your numbers were 1.8%, okay, then 0.38%, and then for Sam, it was 0.02%.
I'll have you know it's called the.
I've dated guys in my realm, by the way, so you know.
Yeah,
the last two guys.
But the point was they had a lot of options, and that's why it's hard to make it last because those guys have so many. options.
Now you guys get to feel good about yourselves, so you know where you fit on the percentage line, right? So,
I stay feeling good about myself.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so these are all these stats are drawn from the same source, the CDC and the census. Okay, so because people will say, what are they using this calculator for? Where's these stats come from? The CDC and the U.S. Census Bureau. That's where they come from. Okay, so Trey, let's start with you. What's your ideal age range from 18 to 29? What's your age range?
I'll say like anything from like 18 to like 30.
To
You know what
30?
I mean? Every now and then, like anything 30 plus, like whatever, you know.
Say 18 to 30.
Yeah. 18
Okay.
to 30.
Exclude married, or are you a home wrecker?
No, I try not to be a home wrecker.
Excludes it. Okay. Exclude mothers.
I mean, it is.
You
what
want
it
single
is.
mommies or not?
It is what it is, you know.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, it is what it is. What, yes or no?
All of the above.
If I'm like, if I'm
Option D.
consistently with a girl, then no kids. Then.
Okay, here we
No
go.
kids. Okay, so
Consistently with
exclude
a girl,
mothers.
yeah.
Okay.
You didn't hit it.
Okay. To exclude mothers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got exclude mothers. Okay. Now, do you have anything for white girls, black girls, Hispanic girls,
Man,
or
it don't
any?
even matter.
Are you,
It don't
you're
even matter.
all right. So you're a. There we go. All right. So here we go. Height. Do you have any height requirements?
You can be taller than me. I don't give
How
a fuck.
tall? How tall is the tallest you would go
It don't
with a
even
girl?
matter. I don't
How
really
tall are
care.
you?
5'9".
5'9". Okay.
It don't look like it though, for real.
So how about we do 5'10"?
Yeah, facts.
5'10". Okay. What's the shortest girl you would go with? 4'11".
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Exclude overweight.
See, weight is that thing though.
I agree.
That's the one. That's the one right there.
I feel you, my
That's
brother.
the only thing. Look.
Are you talking about some
Listen.
curves? Talking about some ass? That's
Like
fine.
you can have a fat ass, be like
All right.
thick, whatever. But if you like, yeah. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
I've been
sounds
doing
good.
BMI too because that's horse shit.
So
Well,
we're doing.
overweight.
Yeah, you're right. I'm
Again.
heavily overweight.
Okay.
Go ahead and convert.
Remember, CDC, U.S.
Right,
Census.
horse
Okay.
shit. So say what you want.
Okay. So
We all good in here. That's all I gotta
All right,
say.
all right.
Everybody here, we all good. That's all.
all
I gotta say.
right. So exclude overweight or exclude obese. I would
Yeah,
say exclude
facts,
obese.
facts,
right?
facts,
Okay.
facts.
So let's do exclude
Everybody in
obese.
here, we good. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Here we go. Minimum income. Does she have to have a minimum or a
It
maximum?
doesn't matter. Income don't matter.
Okay. What about?
I got it.
What
I
about?
got it. I got it.
Would you be okay if she made more money than you do?
No, I really don't care. I don't care about all this shit.
So either or is fine.
Yeah, it don't matter.
So no minimums. Well, the reason why, because again, they're using this as a criteria according to the census.
Baby, if you cute, that's all it. You know?
See, that's men are like, she just has to be young and pretty. It'll do.
Okay.
And again, guys, when we pull these up, we're not even counting pretty girls. We're just going off this demographic. Ready? So here we go.
All right, here we go.
That should be in there because aren't men
Yeah,
visual?
homeless.
If you
They
cute,
are.
that's all.
Homeless
it is. Look,
women.
I ain't
All right, ready?
ashamed.
So many cute.
Hold on, time out before we do
Hold
this.
on.
Sam, what number do you think? What number
What
do
you
you think?
say,
that is?
homeless or what?
No, he's kidding.
You could be homeless.
Baby, if you homeless,
if you
come live
find
with me, baby.
Come live with your home.
Baby.
All right. What percentage?
Hold on. Put a one in the chat if you've ever had a homeless stripper live with you. Put a one in the chat.
Okay,
Baby,
please
if you
do.
homeless, come live with me. Let's go.
Or if you about to.
Okay, ready? So,
right,
what percentage,
what percentage do you
of
think-
women?
Oh
of
man,
women
on
meet
that, I'm gonna
I don't even be
say
in my house.
60.
60.
Casey.
60% of women.
87%.
87% of women. What do you think, Trey? What percentage of women did you pick?
Did you just pick?
Man. Fucking 70.
7.
50.
Okay.
Let's go with 50.
50% of women.
50%.
I was gonna say 50.
50. What do you think?
That was what I was gonna say.
What do you think?
40%.
40. What do you think?
Yeah, 40.
What do you think?
55.
What do you think?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question. I was
do you
The
think?
percentage
Percentage
of
women who meet
that he
his
just
criteria.
described. That meet his criteria.
Okay. I would say at least 50%.
What do you think?
50%.
Okay, you
30.
guys missed one thing. That he said not obese. And 75% of this
missed that.
75% of this country is obese. Let me say that again. 75.
He didn't know 12%. I changed it. 12.
That's my answer now.
You said you didn't care.
If you cute my baby, pull up.
Overweight. Overweight. You know the difference between obese and overweight.
75% of the population is overweight. Ready? Here we go.
Here we go.
It is
Ready?
30 something.
15.58%. It's almost
That's still higher than any of our
First of all, that's higher than all the men
all
that
of
we're
you.
trying to date.
Yes.
So,
Ladies, we're killing it.
Yeah.
I forget. Sometimes I forget most girls aren't in shape.
Beautiful.
Time out.
Listen up.
Guys,
That's a wrap. Thank you so much. You got chances. We don't.
There we go. So
I especially don't.
Sam got the right answer. That is correct. So when you put the fractions in there, let's just say 15%, and let's say Sam is like 0.02. That's 50 times 15. What is that? Somebody do the math there. That's how many more times we have to choose a Sam than Sam has to choose an us.
Okay.
You guys see that?
So here we go. According to the statistical data, the probability of a woman of the U.S. female population ages 18 to 30, that was your criteria there, meets your standards is 15.58%. Roughly 4.4 million women in the United States meet your ideal standards.
That's a lot.
And all of
Your
them
chances
are at
are good.
Art Basel. All of them are at EDC.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
And all of them
I'm like,
are
if
in
you cue my baby,
none of them
with me.
In Las Vegas.
Like pull up
Very
to the, if you
few.
cute my baby, come ride in a whip with me, come travel with me, like whatever. If you cute, let's go.
You have 1 out of 5 red pills. You are easy to please.
Okay, so let's go back to even those of you who are like 1.8. Let's just round it off. Let's just say 1.5. That's 3, 15, 30. 1 in 30 chance. So it is 30 times easier for me as the guy who makes $70K a year and is 5'10" to meet you. It's 30 times easier for me to meet you than for you to meet me.
We should
See
do
it?
us sometime.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I don't need these fucking guys knowing how much money I make. All right. So, do you have anything you want to do before the YouGov?
No, that's it.
Okay, guys. We're gonna do one other thing. One of the things I love about this show is I love to get your reactions. Well, if you guys see the videos that we have that get 2, 3, 4 million views, it's when we get your reactions to this socioeconomic data. Does that make sense? Because we all need to know that we're delusional. Because a lot of us, men are delusional too. They think they're gonna change a hoe into a housewife. That is delusion. That is the same level of fucking delusion that's going to happen. Men are, by the way, men are far more delusional than you are. You guys are delusional, but men are exceptionally delusional. Here's the reason.
I'll take it.
Here's the reason why. Because we're so led by our sexuality, but when we have less sex, we are even more led by it. Meaning the guy who just got out of prison or did 10 months in Iraq is way hornier and way more led by his
Starving man in the desert.
Do you guys understand? Shout out to Justin Waller if he's watching. Justin Waller had such a great quote. I am not afraid of a bad man. I'm not afraid of a bad man. I'm afraid of a desperate man. Yeah. You guys understand? I'm afraid of a desperate man. So ready, ladies. And if you know the answer to this, don't answer, please. The percentage of men under the age of 30 that have had 0 sexual partners in the last year. Sam, the percentage of men who have had 0 sexual partners in the last year. What do you think? You throw out a number.
How many? Like the percentage?
Math is hard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for you guys. I'm gonna say 50%.
50%. What do you think, Casey?
65.
65. What do you think?
I was going to say about 50.
50. What do you think?
I know it. I can't answer.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think?
50.
50. What do you think?
Dang, I was gonna say 10%.
10%. What do you think?
62.
62. What do you think?
I was gonna say 20.
What do you think?
30.
Okay, the reason, so the answer is actually
Wait,
30.
you said under the age of 30.
Under the age of 30. The answer is 33%. It's around there. But the reason, here's the reason why. And to be fair, Chris Williamson believes it's 50%.
Yeah.
He's looked at other data to indicate that it's much higher. The reason why you guys, I think, have these answers, because most of the times women underestimate this, is because you guys have like Instagrams and you have creepy dudes creeping in your OF. So you have creepy dudes creeping into your Instagram, so you have in your mind, you understand how many creepy dudes are out there. Most women who just get walked into a nightclub by a male stripper, VIP host, or just dating like a super good looking bartender or male actor, those girls start to think that number is down in the 10%, but the women who are consistently like either work at Walmart or around people who are at McDonald's or like grow up in poverty, those people have a closer understanding. It's around 33%. Do you know that before the iPhone it was like 12% or like 16%? And it climbed up to 33% because this made it so we don't know how to talk to women anymore.
Yeah,
I was like, I kick it with these blue collar boys.
This is the reason. This is the reason why there's so many desperate men. And here's the other thing: it's not that you guys think these men are ugly. You don't even see them.
They're invisible.
They're completely invisible. I guarantee you, if we left Lowe's or if we left Walmart and we asked Sam, tell me about the cashier that you checked out with. She wouldn't even remember what he looked like unless he was 6'3" and good looking.
I went to self-checkout.
Yeah, she went to self-checkout. Exactly.
But he didn't have a car.
Like, none of my men are here. I'm going to check myself out.
I don't want to see you.
He didn't have a Rolex. He didn't have a car, so you didn't notice.
Beautiful. So we're gonna include the audience in this, and if you want to watch the chat for this, if you guys want to watch both chats, it's going to be a little bit of a delay, but I'm going to go back and watch this afterwards. So here's what's going to happen: we're going to ask you a bunch of socioeconomic questions, okay? And we're going to get an understanding of what you think the correct answer is, okay? You guys got it? I need you all to pay attention and look at me. I know you guys are looking at the chat. Look at me real quick, okay? Ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask you some questions about some other socioeconomic data, and you're going to estimate what the answer is, and then I'm going to tell you what America thinks the answer is, and then when we're done, I'm going to tell you what the real answer is. You guys got it? Here we go. The first one, the percentage of households in the United States that have a household income over $1 million. What percentage of Americans? Just throw out numbers, guys. What do you think? And by the way, those of you in the chat, you can also throw out a percentage. Huh?
5%.
2%, 5%.
15%.
What do you think? Over $1 million. Household over $1 million. Percentage of Americans. Please talk to the
12%.
Microphone, please.
Oh, 15.
15%. What do you guys think? 12%. Okay. America said 20%. Interesting. So let's go to another one. The amount of Americans that are Jewish. What percentage do you think? Guys, throw it out there. What percentage of Americans are Jewish?
20%.
20%. What do you think?
I was going to say 30.
30% are Jewish. What do you think?
32%.
32%. Anybody else?
35.
35.
40.
Yeah.
40. What do you think?
10%?
10%. What do you think?
Oh, I already know.
Okay, so this one I'm just skipping.
All of them.
This one I'm just skipping to the end. Okay, I'm sorry. America said 30%. 2% of Americans
2%.
are Jewish.
Yes.
What?
Guys, there are 14 million Jewish people on the whole planet. Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
It's almost
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. They were almost annihilated.
It's almost like you guys have been fed propaganda. It's crazy. Yeah. The percentage.
By the way, the reason I know that is because I wrote the fourth book there, and I had to do those demographics, and I was actually shocked too. I was like, "There's actually only 2%." And that's the U.S. By the way. That's not worldwide. Worldwide, it's even less than that.
There's a lot in LA.
I believe
there's a lot in New York.
There are more Jewish people in New York than there are in Israel. So here we go. The next one. The next one is the percentage of Americans that are African American. What percentage of Americans are African American? Throw out a number. What do you think?
Oh God, I don't have
35%.
35%. What do you think? 30%.
25, 27.
20%.
What do you think?
25.
25. What do you think?
25.
25.
20.
It is 12% of Americans are African American. Wow. Yes. It's crazy. It's almost like you guys watch the news and shit and you start to believe the bullshit that they tell you. Isn't that interesting how that whole thing works? Ready? Here we go. What percentage of Americans are transgender? What do you think, guys?
Oh my God.
2%.
2%. What do you think?
7%?
7%. What do you think?
0.5.
0.5. What do you think?
1%.
What do you think?
1%.
What do you think?
Yeah, 5%.
What do you think?
I'd say 1.
Interesting. So America thought for transgender that it was 21%.
Oh, wow.
The answer is less than 0.02% of Americans are actually transgender.
It is less than the rounding error.
Yes. The percentage of Americans that are Republicans. What do you think, guys?
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh,
Say that again?
The percentage of Americans that are Republicans.
I'm very curious.
Register.
Oh, gosh. Close to 50%.
Okay, what do you guys say? Anybody else?
37%.
Throw it out there. 37%.
I want to say 65.
65%. 65% Republican. Well, we got a problem if that's the case.
Yeah, we
got a problem with the last election. Yeah, hold on. Just leave it there. Anybody else?
say like 40 to 45.
45? What do you think? Okay, before we do this, percentage of Americans that are Democrats. What do you guys think?
65.
65% Democrat. Anybody else?
I mean, it should be the majority. We're a Democratic country.
Throw it in the chat. No, it's not the majority. So here's the thing. For those of you who don't know, the pendulum always slowly swings to the left, and it almost...
The chat's on fire. They know.
Okay,
they
very
know.
good. Anyway,
Okay.
all right, I'll tell you. It's about 47% of Americans claim to be Republican, about 42% claim to be Democrat.
Nice.
Okay? But the numbers that they were saying was 50% Republican, and for Democrat, it was 51%. So it's pretty close. But let's get to some of them that are just massively... have read a book over the last year. What percentage of Americans have read a book in the last year?
You guys are going to kill me.
I want to say 0.5.
Not
What do you
even
think?
1. Probably close to 40%.
Wow. God, I wish.
65%. I love this that your your biases show very much in the lifestyle you live. Ready? Listen, I think it's really interesting to watch some of the things. So the actual number that have had a book. Where's the book one? Where, oh man, I lost it.
Like just read one book, or
read a book. It's
in the 30s.
The actual number is actually 77% of Americans have read one book.
I'm glad everyone's going to school. That's great.
We're better off than I thought.
That's pretty good.
Awesome. Here we go. Let's get to another one that's crazy.
Audiobooks count. That's what I was.
Audiobooks.
Okay, if audiobooks count, yeah, 75.
Hey, shout out to all my.
I thought you were saying read a book.
Shout out to
people don't read.
Shout out to all my brothers and sisters out there. Are U.S. military veterans? What percentage of the U.S. population are U.S. military veterans? Go. What do you think?
Veterans. Wow, I would probably say about 40%.
40%. What do you think?
20.
20%. What do you think?
Man, look, 30.
30. What do you think?
45.
45. What do you think?
25.
What do you think?
30.
What do you think?
10.
What do you think?
37.
What do you think?
I say 30.
What do you think?
40.
It is 6% of Americans are U.S. military veterans. We spend more money on our military than every other country in the world combined, and we could kick the living shit out of all of them. 6%. Yeah, isn't it funny? Like, guys,
what is America?
Oh, America thought it was. Hold on a second. Percentage of military veterans. Let me see here. It's 40%. America thought it was 40%. Isn't it crazy?
Is that all all veterans?
All veterans.
The old ones, the young ones.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Right now, less than 1% of America is in the U.S. military. Yeah, isn't it crazy? Isn't it funny? No, but what's funny is that you guys need to think about why you're so off on some of these demographics. Is there things that you watch on television and film that make you afraid of certain names or certain identities? I don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah.
Just make sure.
What do you mean afraid of certain
know the
names
trade.
and identities?
It just listen.
Shout out to our vets, by the way.
You do it. Shout out to the vets, right? The percentage of Americans that are Christian. What do you guys think?
That's a dying breed now.
That is a dying breed.
50.
50? What do you think?
Yeah, around 50.
What do you think?
32. 35.
25.
Interesting. America said, hold on, for the Christians, 58%. The answer is 70% of Americans claim to have a Christian heritage. And here's another one that I love.
Wow.
The percentage,
Heritage, yes.
the percentage of Americans that are, hold on, where is it? Here it is. The percentage of Americans that are Hispanic. What percentage of Americans are Hispanic? What do you think?
African American is what?
Oh my god.
30%.
30% Hispanic. What do you think?
12.
40% Hispanic. 12%. What do you think?
20.
20%. What do you think?
15.
What do you think? 40? What do you
I
think?
say 20.
What do you think?
50.
You guys realize that if 50% of Americans are Hispanic, and before we're saying 40% of Americans are black, there are no white people in the United States. You guys don't know how to do math.
That's what Hollywood shows for us.
Ready? Okay.
Shout numbers out.
One more time, guys. Here we go. America thought 39% of America is Hispanic. It is 17% of the population is Hispanic.
And they're all in Vegas and California.
There we go.
I'm from LA. I'm kind of biased.
In Miami, too.
Yeah.
And Miami speak English in
All right,
Miami.
the chat's going to love this one. What percentage of Americans do you think own a gun?
Ooh.
What percentage?
Basically, like all the Republicans do.
What was I say? 20%.
What's that? 100%.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
What's
Smart.
20% own a gun.
I am one of the 20.
38.
38%.
Say like 40.
Somebody's phone is
Trey.
ringing. Please stop.
35 to 40.
Detroit, of course.
What do you think?
Say
35 to 40.
37. Okay.
God. 60.
60.
I'm going high. I'm going high.
40.
40.
30.
30% of Americans own guns.
38.
38
I say 45.
own guns.
50.
50%? No, you would be incorrect. Okay. Only 32% of the U.S. population owns a gun.
And what do people think?
And Americans think that 54% of the population.
Here we go.
Because the news is like always covering shootings. That's why.
Interesting. It's almost like you are being fed
Brainwashed.
propaganda. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Just bringing up a point. Just sitting here talking. Nobody shoot me, please. Here we go with the next one. Ready?
What was the actual number for gun owners?
32%.
Oh,
The percentage of Americans that
Not
are
counting the illegal gun.
the percentage of Americans that are white. What percentage do you guys think it is? Go ahead. What do you think?
50%.
50%.
70.
You guys understand your math? doesn't work
75.
out. You can't have 75% white people, 41% black people.
You keep telling us just throw out numbers. Now you're making it like we should be like
Ready?
doing
What percent?
calculations.
Go ahead. 45. What do you think?
I don't even know
What
my
do you think?
math anymore.
What do you think?
40.
40% white.
Oh, 55.
55. What do you think?
48.
48% white.
40.
40. What do you think?
60%.
This is incredible. Okay, 59% of Americans are white.
Hey.
That's incredible.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
the 59% is 64% 64% is what the Americans people said is 64%. Isn't it funny how you guys massively overestimated minorities and massively underestimated white people? It's almost like the news is feeding you something.
I was actually kind of.
What year is the data?
This year, January 14th, January of 2022. Yep. So a little bit more than a year. Go ahead, you got one?
All right, let's do are bisexual.
Percentage of Americans that are bisexual. Go.
12%.
12%. What do you think?
Like 6.
6. What do you think?
Yeah.
10.
What? I'm gonna say 20.
What do you think?
20.
15.
Damn, you are optimistic, aren't you?
10.
What do you think?
30.
30.
8.
What do you think?
8%.
I don't think people are going to come forth with this information, honestly.
Bisexual? Go ahead.
Okay. Identify it.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, 20%.
20% of that. The actual number is 4% of the
Americans said 29%.
Yes.
29%. Okay, so this is really interesting how these numbers end up going on.
Oh wait, we got to do this one too, because so what percentage of the U.S. population is Asian?
4%'s wild. I mean, all girls are at least 10%, right?
12%. What do you think?
15.
15%. What do you think?
Man, 10.
What do you think?
Or Asian?
Asian.
It's low. It's probably 8.
What do you think?
10. I'm going 10.
18.
18% Asian.
15.
Okay.
Such a specific
6.
number.
12.
What do you think?
8.
You got it right. 6% of the population is Asian, and Americans think that. Was it 29% of the population?
Ready? Here we go. Here we go, guys. What percentage of the American population is Muslim? Go ahead, Sam.
3%.
3%. What do you think?
5%.
5%. What do you think?
Alhamdulillah. I don't know. 20.
20% Muslim. 20% Muslim. What do you think?
I'm going to say 8.
8%. Please talk in the microphone. What percent Muslim?
I'm going low. I'm going to go with 2.
2. What do you think?
6.
What do you think?
5.
5.
9.
9%.
7.
7.
3.
The percentage of Americans that are Muslim is less than 1%. Americans said Americans said 27% of Americans are Muslim. That's what the Americans say. It's really weird how we're so far off. Question your reality. That's all I'm asking you to do. Okay. There's a couple other ones here. Do you have another one you want?
Okay, I got this. Is a good one. How many Americans? What percentage own a smartphone? Own a smartphone.
99.
99%.
0.9. Yeah, think about the old people though too.
That's the
68.
68 people.
What do you think? 68%. Okay.
5.2.
There we go. Go ahead.
80%.
Percentage of Americans that own a smartphone. Rosie.
75.
I said 68.
68. You got to talk in the microphone. Go ahead.
75.
Okay.
80.
Go ahead.
70.
Go ahead.
65.
Go ahead.
90.
It's interesting.
Tugs and X-Ray Girl got it right. It's actually 76%.
Oh, it's so
closest to the pin. But
Nice.
Americans
Round up.
think that 85% of people own a smartphone. I'm actually surprised at 76. But yeah.
Well, you got to factor in like the super old and the babies. So
Yeah, that's
Here we go.
true. That's true.
Let's try another one. Ready?
super old and the babies.
Let's try another one. Ready? The percentage of household income over $100,000 a year. What percentage of Americans make a household income over $100,000 a year? Sam.
25.
25%. What do you think?
11%.
11. What do you think?
4.
18%.
What do you think?
7.
20.
10.
15.
20.
Over the household that makes over 100.
Over. Okay.
She don't care. They're not making $5 million.
Over 100K.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think
She's like, that's yeah, probably 10%.
It's funny because it's like we've beaten you down. Because I have a feeling if we hadn't done this, you would have different answers. It's 34% of households are
Nice.
over. Actually,
That's good.
it's
That's good.
yeah.
There's a lot of hope.
That's
in
cool.
the world for
Right.
Well done.
That's what I'm
Well
saying.
done, America.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I've been so skeptical of men.
Go get
Oh, gosh.
And now I'm
channel all the energy, all the testosterone that you're not using for sex into jobs.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how
Get
many
those jobs.
Americans
To get sex.
Percentage
And then you will
of
get more.
Americans,
And then you will get more sex. This one told you right here.
percentage of Americans who have
Guess it's
at
coming
least
from me.
a high school degree, a high school diploma.
I was like degree.
High school diploma. High school diploma.
Percentage of Americans that have a high school diploma. Go. What a percentage?
70.
60.
I'm going to say 65.
Go ahead. What do you think, Troy?
Did I graduate? No, I'm joking. 80. 80? No, I graduated.
I'm not in America enough to know this. Maybe 80.
Okay.
85.
73.
I was going to say 72.
Everybody's just like throwing out
80.
It's really interesting because you guys underestimate this one. It's 89% of Americans have had a high school degree. But
89?
But they answered 65.
65%.
89 completed
89%.
high school?
No, 65.
Or got a GD. No, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. It's the other way around once you get to that point.
Maybe I was thinking about college.
Percentage of Americans that own a house. Sam, what do you think?
This is fun. This is getting fun.
This hurts my head. This is not fun at all.
I mean, in reality, the bank owns most of it.
Okay, own a house.
I would say like 60.
What do you think?
So I would say, buy the block. No, I'm joking. So I would say like 20%.
38%.
38%. What do you think?
40.
What do you think?
40.
What do you think?
25.
What do you think?
42.
What do you think? Own a house.
35.
Interesting. What do you think?
I'm low. I know. I'm low.
Less than 50%.
Okay, so one of the things that I think is happening is so many of you guys do not come from rural environments. In rural environments, everyone owns a house. Okay, and
That's
so
facts.
right.
That's what I was thinking.
in LA.
So the correct answer is 65% of Americans. We answered, but you guys answered 49% of
Marry
Americans.
those guys.
I literally just thought about the farms and how cheap they are.
Yeah.
Do they own their homes, or are they making payments on a home owned by the bank?
New York and stuff, like don't.
It's just
Here we go.
Same.
Let's continue from the last one. Percentage of Americans that have a college degree. What do you think?
45.
Okay. What do you think?
40.
40?
10.
10?
50.
25.
Can I clarify college as in like
Bachelor's degree.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, we call it college and university. 30.
Okay.
20.
What do you think?
48.
48?
I'm going to say 40.
What is this for a bachelor's degree?
Yep, college degree.
35%.
Okay, the answer is 33%. Americans said 47% have a college degree.
Don't go to college, get a job, the end. And you'll be able to have more sex.
What percentage of Americans shoot whipped cream into their mouth from the can? Go.
Is that an actual stat?
100%.
That was in the chat. It was too good. I had to read it.
Somebody has way too much time on their hands.
So I have one more for you, and this is just for my own personal gratification. Ready? The amount. So you guys know what gross domestic product is, right? You understand it's the amount of money that a country makes minus exports, right? You guys understand what that is? The gross domestic product for the planet Earth. What do you guys think it is? Anybody want to take a guess?
It's a planet Earth.
The planet Earth. What do you think
In
it
a
is?
year?
It's not called GDP, but it's the product for the entire planet. What do you think?
it in
for
one
a
year?
For 1 year. What do you guys think it is?
It's
Anybody?
a product.
It's a product. Yeah.
Grains?
2 billion.
2 billion. 2 billion. For the whole
200
planet.
billion.
200 billion. What, anybody
100
else?
billion.
I wouldn't.
Really?
I wouldn't have
Nobody
any
even has-
clue.
So it
I just guessed 200 million.
here's the thing that's problematic is that none of you even have a guess to this. Like, this is one of the most important numbers in the entire world.
I just guessed.
You know what's funny? I actually majored in economics, and I still can't give you a number.
because when you measure a global recession, this is how you would measure it. So, anybody else have any guess?
This is making me tired.
Where am I measuring? Where am I?
Can we just name 3 countries? That's easier.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
5 to 6 billion?
Huh?
5 to 6 billion?
Okay, ready? Okay, so the world product is $96 trillion. Okay? 96. Ready? Here we go.
The chat was saying 250 trillion.
250. It's 90.
Chat's off too.
It's 96 trillion. Ready? Okay, so what is the U.S. GDP then?
Oh, I thought that was the U.S.
No, that was the world
worldwide.
is 96. What is the U.S. GDP?
Shit. Oh, God.
20 trillion.
Who said that?
900 billion?
900 billion. What do you think?
Just for the
3 trillion.
Just the United States.
I'm going to say 25 trillion.
Okay, what do you think?
I don't think about it. My rich husband knows everything.
3 trillion.
3 trillion. Who? What did you say?
I was going to say.
Okay, what do you think?
What was the total global?
96 trillion.
U.S.
60 trillion.
60 trillion. What do you think?
Yeah.
70% of the debt that America is in right now. I don't know.
Okay, but the GDP for the planet. 70 trillion?
Yeah.
So you think 70 trillion of the 96 trillion is just the United States? 10. What do you think? What do you think?
I guess 3.
3?
We're on the same page.
8.
Okay, cool. It's $23 trillion is the U.S. GDP. 23.
Why did I go to school?
Ready? Okay, the United States. Oh, guys, listen. The United States is 5% of the world's population and 25% of the product. Okay, ready? The next highest GDP would be what? Anybody want to take a guess?
China?
And that would be what?
Maybe that's closer to my numbers.
10?
60?
Huh?
40 to 50
Okay,
trillion?
if the United States is number 1 at 23 trillion.
Oh, China's second.
China's second. What would it be?
Maybe 15?
13.
12 trillion?
12? What do you think? 15. It's 17 trillion. Okay, number 3 would be Japan at 4 trillion. Okay, what about Russia? What do you guys think Russia's GDP is?
It's 2.5.
800 billion.
What are they even doing?
A trillion?
1.7 trillion. Good night, guys. $1.7 trillion is the Russian GDP.
CJ, name 3 countries. Go.
Oh, come on.
We're not doing
Yeah,
this.
come
Get out of here.
My brain is so
Doing this.
fried. I bring nothing to the table, y'all. I just blacked out for about 10 minutes there. I'm thinking Chipotle.
I know.
I'm thinking Zook.
I'm just thinking about my survival and
I'm waiting on my short, balding, fat guy with
Well, you're
high
gonna get
five
him now.
too.
You're gonna get him now.
If
They're
he
gonna be
on
watching.
Zook, sir,
They're
come
watching.
save me. I don't like numbers. Hello.
No,
You're the smart
I
one.
just think, like, for some of you, I would hope that you would be curious enough to understand the demographics of the world that you live in, because when you don't, you end up in situations where you get confused and lied to very fucking easily.
Yeah.
You guys understand?
And
You get
manipulated.
so you get manipulated very easily when you don't understand the world that you live in. Does everybody do you understand?
fair.
That's the only thing I'm asking. There's no reason to not know this stuff. Cool. Do we have any other
No, I got an idea.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for us?
Do you have any questions for us? No?
Trey?
What is your ideal woman?
She's sitting outside there, and she's perfect. And I'm not going to say shit.
Okay, what are like the attributes that make her so perfect?
It is. She is more down for me than any woman I have ever seen in my entire life. It's unquestioned,
my boy.
Bro, it is
Genuine
it is-
Like just by your side all the time.
Man,
is what
I
you
mean, yes, like no one. I didn't even know this was possible. Okay, the second look, it was femininity. Third, she allows me to lead when it's it's time for me to lead. And the other, but loyalty would probably be the number one thing. The reason why. And then lastly, I have a plan. Until we talk, Rollo and I have a plan, guys.
You
I
do
have a
have a plan.
My plan is 8 figures and then 9 figures. That is my plan.
Working on my next zero.
She is working with me on my plan. She doesn't get in the way of my plan. She understands that it's not me or the job. It's like she understands that she comes with me to the job. She's almost like an executive with me in this company. I'm the chairman. She's the CEO of this company. She represents me to a certain extent. She represents me when she goes out and does stuff in public. She represents me when she comes on the show. And so that's because of that. She provides me peace. Because she's feminine and because she is so incredibly fucking loyal to me, that's the reason why. And also, she's the hottest woman I've ever seen in my life. So those are the reasons why I chose her.
Mike, I just want to say I agree.
Yeah.
In fact, same thing for me, man. Look, Mike, for real though.
I feel like there's not a lot of at least not a lot of well-known reward for women who behave, so to speak. So a lot of women who
so many women fit that criteria.
No, listen though. A lot of women
Not
who
really.
just quietly stay at home and raise the kids, and a lot of times, I mean, this is just what I observed in the cult with like the multiple wives and such. A lot of times, the woman who shut up, just did her job, raised the kids, she kind of became invisible,
Yeah.
And the one who kind of acted out, she got the most attention. And so I feel like another thing that the men could do, if you want your woman to behave, like reinforce that behavior. Like Michael was saying, he includes her in his work. She feels important. She feels noticed. She feels seen. He shows her off like that. I think a lot of women feel like they have to show themselves off. They want to have an Instagram that's flashy or, get attention, because a lot of times if they behave, their husband doesn't show them off, doesn't include them, like doesn't make them feel seen. Who wants to die and never have an impact on the world? I don't.
Fucking with lambs, then.
And so I feel like a lot more women would behave if their husbands, showed them off.
If there was a reward.
Yes, if there was more reward for being a good woman and just being, traditional, raising the kids.
For sure, but there is a reward for not being one, because you get Instagram followers and you get OnlyFans followers.
See, that's the problem. It's bad behavior. Well, it's not bad behavior, I would say.
And you can buy a Mossberg and a Glock, right?
Okay,
Like,
but-
legitimately, like that's what happens. You need a man, but do you want a man? Like you want a man, but do you legitimately need a man?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think women need to realize. I mean, she's lucky because it works out. Whatever she has
But I'm not the exception. Like, it shouldn't be the exception.
The best of both
Like, this
worlds.
gets to
If
be
you can
for
find that
everyone.
with a man who wants that, that's great. But like, I think most women either you have to accept the fact that you have to be the man, and you have to take the accountability and the responsibility of being a man if you're gonna be the man. Or if you're not gonna be the man, you need to let your man be the man. And so I just think like everyone wants equal rights, but there will never be equal rights and equal deference, or so to say without equal accountability, equal responsibility. And I don't feel like the system makes women as accountable as men are held.
Well, I think we have equal rights now.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
But I think the issue is what will happen is people will sit there in identity politics. One of the problems is you're going to consistently have everyone pulling for their identity. Right? They're always going to do that. And then in the end, like Richard Reeves was talking about when he came on our show, it's not a nefarious thing, but after a while, when everything is woman politics and then it's African-American politics and it's all these different politics, then you get to the point where 68% of college graduates are female. 68% of there are under the age of 30, 5% of psychologists are male. 5%. There are more female military pilots than there are male kindergarten teachers in the United States.
What?
Yes. So,
pilots?
Yes. So that's where we've gotten to. Where since Title IX in 1974, we've swung in the opposite direction, and that's why a lot of things have happened. And again, what I'm saying is now we have a group of men. Remember, the 33% of men who have zero sexual partners. The world does not accept them, so they're not accepted financially. The job market has moved on because of global industrialization. Their family doesn't accept them because they're taught not to be the leader of the house anymore, right? The education system does not accept them.
Get a second job, just saying.
The education system does not accept them, and the dating market does not accept them. 80% of men on Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge are deemed unattractive.
So get off the dating
most of
app
the time
and go
it's
to
just
work.
because they don't know how to take a good selfie.
For sure.
It's very sad. These guys too.
The top
they don't know how to market themselves.
The top 10% of men on dating apps get 63% of the right swipes. The top 20% of men on dating apps get 83% of the right swipes. Comparatively, the top 63% of the right swipes for women, it's 43% of women. Yeah. For women, it's a normal distribution. For men, it's a few group of guys up here at the top are 6'3" and really good looking, and they're getting all of these women. And there's this massive group of men that are getting nothing, and you wonder why he cheated on you. You wonder why he cheated on you.
Because we're all fighting for the same guy, right? All the women are fighting for the same guy. So you want the guy to make it out. Well, so does she, and so does she, and so does she, and so then our numbers just go down and down and down and down.
This man right here started out as a man who couldn't even bring the groceries in correctly for a woman that he had devoted his life to. No, please, because I'm building up to something. I promise. For a woman that you gave your life to for 6 years, which everybody would say that, or for 8 years, that's very incorrect. She shouldn't have treated you like that. But what happened was you got in the gym. These are your own words, not mine. And you got your money right.
Facts.
And then not only did she come crawling back to you, you had other women who were also lining up for you as well as the respect of your peers, but more respect from your peers, correct? So you're sitting before us. You have a beautiful woman that's here with you. You look good. You have more money in the bank, presumably.
Of course.
And so what I'm trying to encourage all the men out there is that if you can do it, so can they, right?
They can. That's why I love the whole kind of message that like Rollo and them are putting out, because it's not against women. It's telling men to level up for the sake of women, so that women can have the best there is. Like more men to level up. And also I think it kind of falls on women too. Like if you find a guy that you really click with and maybe he's not fit, maybe he's skinny or whatever, like prep his meals. Count the macros, make it easy for him, get him in the gym, encourage it, like kind of help him instead of just like jumping from guy to guy trying to find. I mean, if you click with him, like help build him up, you know?
It is the best thing for women, for men to be their most attractive selves, and it is the best thing for men to be their most attractive selves. Everyone wins when you man the fuck up. Everyone wins.
I'll tell you I'm gonna throw.
That is why I love.
Throw a monkey wrench in for here just a second. So you were asking what's the ideal woman? Okay, my ideal woman is about 5'11". She's blonde. She has about B cup tits. She looks good, takes care of herself. Is in the gym. Because she wants to be in the gym, not because she has to be told to get in the gym, not because she feels an obligation to get in the gym. She just gets it. She doesn't allow me to have leadership. She expects leadership. She defers to my authority. She has genuine fucking desire for me without having an obligation to it. She will change her fucking religion for me.
My favorite Rollo line.
She will climb over broken glass. Climb over broken glass and change her religion for Rollo.
She is a ride or die girl. There is never any, I allow him to, never any pandering. No, allow you to lead. No, I'm already leading because that is the expectation. We wouldn't be in the relationship in the first place if there wasn't that genuine desire there instead of obligation. And I think that that's the number one thing that guys don't get. They don't understand, and women don't get this either, is that the relationship you have between a man and woman is complementary. But one of the things that women really grate their teeth on is the idea of submission. And I hate that word submission because it's out of the Bible and everything else. And not because it's out of the Bible, but because it shouldn't be submission. It should be deference. It should be, and you just mentioned that a minute ago. It should be, you have responsibility.
I hate that word too.
You have responsibility as a man. You have responsibility to have your money on point and get your game on point and get your body on point and have everything set up. And you have a lot of responsibilities, but the presumption isn't you're just got to do this for me over and over and over again because it's your obligation. It's because you also have the authority to exercise that responsibility in the first place. If that is your innate natural expectations of a man from the very get-go, that's the girl that I want.
One other thing, there is no mainstream outlet whatsoever, news, radio, television, film, that is saying what he just said. I want you to understand that.
They would say I'm a misogynist for even bringing that up. They would say you just you're insecure because you want a woman to be your mother. You want her to pick up after you and do your laundry, and you need a mother kind of thing. It's like, no, there's a difference between genuine desire and obligated compliance. And that's the difference. Today, most women believe that they're already in that position of authority, and they have that authority, and men only have responsibility. The difference between those two, a good, healthy relationship is based on polarity. It is not based on like similarity, because when we become more similar, women can't look up to a guy who is her equal. So when a woman makes more money than the guy, or they're making the same, that's the deciding factor on who gets to make the decisions in the house. And it's usually the one, if women have the pussy, they make the rules.
We don't want you to agree with us. Tell us if you disagree. Like if you guys don't agree with this. Trust me, this is not an echo chamber.
I want genuine desire more than anything else. And like unsolicited, unobligated. Just say, you know what, when I was asking you guys, would you give up your OnlyFans or your Instagram for that guy? Would it occur to you to do that? That's genuine desire. It's like, oh shit, I'm with the guy that is like we just looked at all the stats. This guy is like a 0.01% guy of the population. Holy shit, I better get my Instagram off.
Yeah.
I don't want there to be any confusion whatsoever that you're the fucking guy I'm ride or die. I'll change my religion for you.
Now, nobody is telling you have to do this. Okay, in the U.S. Constitution, it says by your Creator, you are endowed
not obligation. It's desire to do it.
You are endowed with inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not happiness, but the pursuit of happiness. Any of you can choose to tell us to shut the fuck up and listen to Cardi B instead. All of you have that option.
Let's go to Zoom.
But remember, but if you choose to do so, remember the numbers that we played for you, and just understand we both have a choice. This is a marketplace when it comes to this. Remember, the pursuit of happiness, not happiness. You are not guaranteed happiness. You have to work for it. And some of us have to work harder. Some of us have to work harder.
See,
Deserves have nothing to do with it.
I'm an alpha female.
No, you're not.
But I
you're not.
Listen, I'm not done speaking. I love an alpha male. And as I'm an alpha female, I want an alpha male who makes me a beta female.
There you go. All right, beautiful. I think maybe we do use different terms.
Desire.
There you go.
I want him to make me feel beta. How about this? You want his masculinity to make you feel comfortable in your femininity. To make me feel feminine.
To make you feel more feminine. Instead of alpha and beta, let's just say
I feel like a dominant woman will always defer to a man in charge, though.
Let me tell you, I can tell you firsthand that is the truth.
So you're allowed to feel what these women are feeling.
Yes.
But you want a man to make you feel like less than and make you feel like he can empower like you, but at the same time, like he can take that role, exactly what you guys are saying.
Beautiful. And there's not a single show on TV that is repeating what you just said.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
Not one single show on TV that's repeating what you said.
So I'm saying that you guys are exactly right.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Excellent.
Anything else? Anything from you guys? First off, let's do this.
Good.
Are we good?
Yep. We are good.
CJ, where can we find you?
CJSPARXX on Twitter and OnlyFans.
Hey, happy 4-year sober anniversary. Sober anniversary.
Way to go, girl.
I don't give a fuck what you said.
Happy
I'm so proud of this girl for being sober for 4 years. That's so great.
Your cheap perfume is in the mail.
Because I remember drunk wild CJ running around screaming, "Just grab him by the dick." Just grab him by the dick.
I did. It was in response to President Trump.
2015, she's like, "Just grab him by the dick."
Oh my God.
All right,
My boyfriend at the time.
Yeah, for sure. Courtney, where can we find you? Besides Andrew Tate's Twitter, where can we find you?
I'm the Courtney Tilia on Instagram and Courtney L Tilia on Twitter and OnlyFans.
There we go. Shava, where can we find you?
On every platform, I am Shava, SHAABBAA_. Or you can pronounce it like Courtney does.
Shaba.
Every vowel in it.
Norma Jelly, where can we find you?
Norma Jelly on YouTube or norma.jelly on Instagram.
Norma, what's your channel about again?
So it's Las Vegas Tourism.
Okay, I can't wait for your fans to see this fucking episode. I can't wait for your fans to see this episode because part of the tourism is the flora and fauna and dating trashy dudes and trashy ladies. Here we go. Let's go.
X-Ray Girl on YouTube. Geeks and Gamers Poor Choices, which I do with Tugs, and also I'll be here tomorrow on the Nerdrotic channel to do Friday Night Tights.
One of the things, X-Ray Girl, where did you get that name from?
I take X-rays for a living.
Oh, nice, X-Ray Girl.
Oh, X-rays and mammograms.
I studied astronomy, so I'm very familiar. There we go. Tugs, where do we find you?
I'm on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch. That Tug Life on all platforms and Poor Choices, POUR.
And she's a Vegas local.
I am a Vegas local.
Why Tugs? Is that your last name?
It's a childhood nickname, yeah.
Okay, very good. Where do we find you?
Instagram, TheRosee, TheEROZEE, and
she
Facebook.
plays good music too.
I just got a Twitter.
Speaking of which, this is something you're going to be involved in. I just got a message right now from Wet Republic. This is not in sewn yet, but it looks like June 30th will be the first bikini competition that we do this year.
Yeah, I plan on
for $100,000. Where can we find you, Trey?
Fellas, get your life together where she can't keep her hands off you. TRAYLITTLE, Trey Little, man. Let's get it, man.
Oh my God. You can find me on Instagram, Twitch, all the things, TikTok, Twitter, at KSeyMa, KASEYMA.
Beautiful.
Instagram, the Samantha Malone, THE Samantha_Malone.
Beautiful. You guys have anything coming up? You guys TV shows you're taking off, Netflix specials, anything?
No, I'm going to show up at the Derby party, and then I'm going to be at the Teddy Ball. We're going to put on a fashion show there with Sleek. I'm sure we're going to show up at more events. I'm going to be trying to show up with Maxim. That's my goals there.
For the rest of you guys, if you are interested, we're having the Derby Day LA in Los Angeles on the 6th during the Kentucky Derby. We possibly may be going on another huge podcast on the 7th. Coming back, well, most likely I'm going to be doing Jedediah Bila on the 17th. I'm going to be doing Adam Sosnick on the 18th.
We both are.
The 17th, we're also going to do Fresh and Fit, and then the 19th, Fresh and Fit. The 20th is going to be Babes in Toyland at the Hyde SLS in May the 20th, the Hyde SLS in Miami. If you guys are interested in coming, that is for Project Fashion Tales. We are raising money for animal rescue if you guys are interested in coming to anything like that. And you can find me just search Michael Sartani anywhere you want. You can find my extremely annoying, extremely offensive podcast if you want. By the way, thank you guys. 50,000 subs today, so I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I'll be doing my Sunday show, which will be 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be back in Reno in the command center. I will most definitely be covering the Steven Crowder divorce, and I'm going to lay into Candace Owens like you wouldn't believe now. So because she is coming at Steven. I'm just like, yo, okay, it's on. It's on.
Listen, Candace Owens hates black people more than I hate the Texas A&M University.
Oh yeah. So
and he hates Candace Owens more than Candace Owens hates black people.
This is quite the love triangle.
Yeah.
Triangle.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you guys.
That's us. Thank you guys.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We're going to do this again on May 11th. We're going to have this thing back on, and we'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Bye. Good job.
If